Yeah. You know what's crazy?
What's that?
Is it takes 30 seconds for Facebook to even acknowledge that we're live. So they're still on the countdown.
Oh, that's weird. Because for some reason, I couldn't get Instagram to work. Hang on a second. We go ahead and start, absolutely. But
yeah. What's up, Dana?
All right. Dana in the house.
You know, Dana in the house. You'll be invading his house tomorrow.
That's right. I had this set up earlier. I don't know what the hell is going on with it.
Hey, Aunt Amy. How's it going?
Hey, Amy.
I had to redo the connection between StreamYard and Twitter or Twitch earlier. So
did you?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
They lose connection every 90 days. You have to go in and
Well, yeah, I knew that, but all right, let's see.
I was wondering maybe that's what happened on your apps over there. So.
Okay. I don't know what the hell. Why are we not?
Dudes, where's the dude? That's what we want to know, man.
All right. Well, I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Let me see if we're rolling on Twitter.
Check Instagram too, just to see if it may still be there and not showing you or something.
Yeah, we're good on We're good on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but may have to just shit can it. All right, here's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna start this bitch over. Hang on. All right, there we go. All right, let's save the changes. Let's see what goes on now. There it goes. All right, cool. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're live. We're finally live on Instagram. I don't know what the hell happened. Like I say, I had all this set up earlier. I did it the same way I normally do it. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So, but anyway, we tried to do this stuff ahead of time and off air, and we try to do it during that little countdown. So
yeah,
you guys don't have to sit here and watch us stumble and trip over our own feet. So, but
unless you're into that kind of thing.
Well, that is true. So, that is true.
All right, so we are supposed to have a special guest this evening. We're just kind of waiting on them to pop in, hopefully. If not, we will just bullshit our way through the whole show, I guess.
I definitely wouldn't be.
Because I didn't prepare otherwise. So.
Neither did I. You know, we've had this thing set up all week. You know, and so we don't.
Yeah,
we don't have a show prepared.
I sent them everything in an email earlier in the week, so they.
Yeah, I saw it. That's what I'm saying. So well, let me go ahead and
hopefully they are maybe a little bit delayed or something.
You go ahead and queue up a couple of the websites that I normally use, just in case we have to do a little bit of. Just in case we have to.
Dana, you might have to get them on the phone, brother.
Just in case we have to do a little bit of impromptu news, we can do that. So a couple of a few of the birthdays that I know of. I don't know. I don't even know if you have a list. I don't even know if you did a list.
I usually
Ronnie
do
James D.O.O.D.
Do it tomorrow. So.
But okay, well, it's just,
we're here. Go ahead. Yeah, we're here. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to fight off this cough. It's gotten better, but I'm still trying to fight it off. The ones that I know of off the top of my head, Ronnie James Dio, John Petrucci, and Phil Sandoval. Those are the few of the ones that I know right off the top of my head. And then I know there was a couple other ones that we posted in the Facebook group. Let's see. Hold on. I'm scrolling through here. Are people really lighting fireworks off right now? Jesus Christ.
America.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. What else do we have? We have Dalton from After Eden. His birthday was 4 days ago. Let's see what else we got, because I know there's a couple other ones that I saw on here. Let's see. We are literally like flying by the seat of our pants here. Let's see. We've got Dan from Ancient Remains.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And there was one more. Ryan from As We Suffer. Well, his was July 3rd, but yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Let's see. We got Mika. We got Mika Riddolati from our friends in Archfire. Oh, his was July 5th too. Sorry, I must have went back a little far, but so yeah, we got a few birthdays that we've shared over the last week. So, but we are back. We did take July 5th off for vacation. Yeah. I went down to Florida, and Jason went to the other side of the mid-state, but we took some time off for the 4th of July so we could do that. But we're glad we're back. I hope you guys are happy that we're back. We're happy you guys are here.
Yeah, we'll try to stay on track until September. That's probably my next time I'll probably have to take off.
Right, yeah. End of September. Yeah. So yeah, we should be good to go for a little while.
Yeah, because I'll be at fucking Slayer. But
yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be fun. Louder than life.
Yeah. We only did the one day because we're actually going on vacation to Arizona the next day. So
just got word back from the bassist. She doesn't know anything about being on the show tonight. Well, that's not great news.
What the hell? That was let's see. Who was we talking to?
Yeah, I mean,
Brian's the one that I was in contact with. So
okay. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the email chain right here. So
yeah, Brian, I'm also.
Yeah, Brian.
He gave me his phone number. Shit, I should have. I didn't even see that.
yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, I didn't even see he did that.
Yeah. So yeah, this could either be a really good or really bad show tonight.
yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any in between. So
yeah. It's all good. Like shit happens, and we understand.
It does. It's fine. I mean, if something changed, that's totally fine. I mean, we understand this stuff happens, So we can set it up for another time. Good thing is we do have another guest tentatively set up for next week. Obviously we're not going to divulge who that is, but hopefully hopefully tonight will be the start of another streak. But if that happens, next week will be 2 in a row. Well, I'm always Dana. You're always welcome, man. If you want to, I mean, even if you want to just kind of hang out and just kind of do this like we are, not a big deal. Let us know, man. Let us know. Speaking of our buddy Dana, I will be in Manchester tomorrow night for the Slingin' Ink and the Pit show at the church at 117. I'll be down there for that. I still haven't decided yet. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to live stream the show or if I'm going to just record it and post it later. I still don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm not 100% sure. I'll kind of, I guess, probably make that decision when I get there. I'll be able to do it either way because they have they got the Wi-Fi, and we did the live stream of Dana's birthday concert last year. So I don't have any trepidation about being able to live stream because I know that we can because we did. So, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. So I'll kind of make that decision when I get there. But regardless, anybody in the mid-state or hell, even the northern part of Alabama, if you guys want to head over to Manchester, the church at 117 is going to be a good show. 5 bands, 3 people doing tattoos, and yours truly. I'll be there. So
cool.
it'll be fun. Full bar for you folks who want to drink. So I mean, taco truck and snow cone vendor. So
I was trying to figure out. I know Chunder, the face to Dream, Mr. Gray, Rattle Trap, and who's the NSI? Is that the last one?
No Connection. Something. Hold on a second. Hang on. I had it pulled up just a minute ago. Hang on.
Oh, that is what it says. Okay, No Connection.
No Connection. Yep, No Connection. Yep.
So there you go. That's the bands that'll be there.
Yep. Live tattooing by Special K, Chris Mullins, and Matt Elliott. Taco truck. Which I mean, these people who make these tacos, oh my god, so good.
Yeah, they are. They're great, and they're not that expensive either.
No,
it's very reasonable.
Yeah,
I got filled up for like $12, man.
I think I paid less than 10.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I got a taco and a quesadilla and a drink for like $12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You beat that, man.
Not really. No, you can't.
It's better, and it's better than Taco Bell.
I was about to say you can't go to Taco Bell for $12 damn anymore.
Yeah, and it's real authentic. It's more authentic than Taco Bell. I'll put it that way.
Oh, by a long shot, yeah. So. And $10 for 5 bands if you want to come by and get a tattoo. And you're not gonna find you're not gonna beat that 5 bands for $10. You're not gonna beat that. Not gonna do it. Well, let's see. I mean, while we're waiting to find out if the dude is gonna show up, yay or nay. Let's pull up some stuff too. So. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here. I did see a few things that looked interesting. Let's see what we can find here. Hang on, just bear with us here. Like I say, we are literally having to shift on the fly and call audibles and all this other stuff here while we're doing this. So
Omaha.
You're right. Yeah. What the hell is the hell's Peyton Manning when you need him?
I got a real interesting one over from Metal Hammer here.
All right.
It says former Fear Factory vocalist Burton C. Bell has revealed that his face appears on the sleeve of an early Nirvana single. Every music fan knows that discovering a cool band before they go global secures you certain bragging rights. And in a post on Instagram, Bell reveals that he was an early adopter when it comes to Nirvana, and he has a photograph to prove it. A photo that ended up on the sleeve of the Kurt Cobain band's final Sub Pop single, Silver. Is it Silver? Oh, Sliver. Sorry, Sliver. Detailing how it came to pass, Bell writes, I moved to LA in July 1989, started working at Tower Video on Sunset Boulevard in September. He was 20 years old. Co-worker Scott and I became good friends, and we talked about the new music that was being created during that time, including all things Sub Pop, and I was loving it. He eventually introduced me to Nirvana's Bleach album. That album immediately spoke to me. February 15, 1990, 4 days before my 21st birthday, Nirvana was playing Rajas, a basement dive in Hollywood Boulevard. Scott and I got super high before we went inside. No, we went. We missed the opening band, Distorted Pony, but after they were done, we made our way to the front of the small stage that went up to my knees. Oh wow, that is small. There were no barricades, and there were maybe 100 people there, from what I remember. It was a badass show. Sub Pop released the 45 single Sliver with the B-side Dive. Sometimes after that, I know that just because when I was checking out the cover art of the single, the negative image photograph on the back was from the Rajas show, and there I was standing right in the front, stoned in amazement of Nirvana and Kurt Cobain. Cool story, bro. No, genuinely a cool story. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
Never know, like so it's like with movies. Some of the movies, movie stars we talk about used to clean the sets and stuff, and then they went, hey, you're getting in movies that way. So,
right.
Actually, when I was in acting school, I remember one of the teachers there said he remembered being on set as an extra, and they had a guy that was supposedly starring in the film or whatever, and he said, hey, take the horse and ride. He's like, whoa, I can't ride a horse. And they said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like you're the star. Did you not read the requirements? You know?" It's like he's like, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't see anything about a horse." So they said, "You know what? Can anybody out? Any of you motherfuckers ride a horse?" And then some guy was like, "Yeah, I can ride a horse." They said, "All right, you just got a raise." So he went from making background money to about $1,500 that day. So
you never know when your shot's gonna be called.
you don't.
Never know.
It's just like I've been on sets and they're like, "Hey, we need somebody. You know, our stunt guy didn't come in or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, what do you need done?" You know, I did stunts for 20 years. It's like so so I've actually gotten some stunt work that way. So it's pretty wild
There
how
you
that
go.
stuff works. It's just I mean somebody else's mishap becomes your gain. So I hate to say it
Right.
like that because but
But well, hell, that's how Tom Brady got
well
took
yeah
took the reins in New England.
yeah
Drew
Drew
Bledsoe
Bledsoe
got hurt.
yeah yeah
Never saw the field for the Patriots again. And but that's why they have understudies and shit like that. Like on Broadway and
right
stuff, because you never know. You never
yeah
know.
it's like break a leg for a
Always,
reason.
right? Yeah, always be ready. All right, I got a couple pulled up here. Over what the fuck was it? The goddamn Progressive commercial. We're not sponsored by Progressive.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd
But
be. I
we'll
mean,
take but we'll take it. I mean,
well, I actually do.
yeah,
I do have Progressive, so I mean, I would
if
take
there's
it. So I mean, it's just
if Flo or anybody's out there, just
right.
saying,
Yeah.
holler at your boy. We'll put you.
I'd even settle for Jamie at this point. But
Yeah.
all right, over at Metal Injection, Oxbow has sadly come to an end, either permanently or just for a little while. It all started when vocalist Eugene Robinson left the band 4 days ago. In part, Robinson stated his decision was made, quote, under the weight of irreconcilable differences, none of them aesthetic or musical, that I now must leave Oxbow, end quote. At the time, Oxbow did not respond or acknowledge that Robinson had left the band and stayed silent on their social media channels. Now, Oxbow guitarist Nico Wenner has come out revealing that the band has broken up due to a quote unquote recent allegation made against him during the band's 2024 European tour. Wenner notes in an Instagram story captured by Lamb Goat that whatever happened was, quote, said to have occurred in a crowd, end quote, and only involved Wenner and an unnamed party. The full statement from Wenner is as follows. Quote, Nico Wenner, Oxbow update. An accusation was leveled at me, Nico, during our 2024 European tour. It's probably not appropriate for me to give details since the allegation is still unresolved.
Mm-hmm.
The alleged incident, said to have occurred in a crowd, involved only myself and the person making the accusation. None of the others in Oxbow were there. The accusation led to the cancellation of the last 4 shows of our tour, all in France. I have always greatly enjoyed playing in France, and I apologize to anyone who had intentions of seeing us there. Eugene Robinson has, at least for now, left the band as he has. Okay, that's a stupid goddamn autoplay ad on this fucking page. God, I hate that. Eugene Robinson has at least for now left the band as he has already made public in his latest Substack article. Hang on. All right, I'm going to get past that. If I scroll past the ad, it stops playing. As it stands now, Oxbow as a band no longer exists. Whether this is a permanent state of affairs remains to be seen, end quote. Oxbow was formed in 1988 as Oxbow, 2 words. It's currently 1 word altogether, and changed their name to Oxbow, all 1 word, in 1991. Oxbow released 8 albums between 89 and 2023, their last being Love's Holiday. So, could be a fluid situation, could be a permanent situation. We won't know, but we'll keep you guys up to date on that as we find out. You got any other ones? Because I got another one I can do real quick.
Well, I mean, this really isn't gonna. I'm not going into the story, but I think this is an interesting topic we can kind of talk about. Is Serge Tankian explains offer for System of a Down to replace him, and he said, "I think it would take something away, but he would be okay with it." Not sure fans would be, but, but I mean, it's Serge isn't the greatest of vocalists, but he's very distinct in what he does. So
right. Yeah, I don't know.
I think anybody that's distinct, like that, it's kind of hard to try to replace them. So.
Well, I mean, you're not going to get. I definitely don't think you're going to get the same feel for sure. But I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, of course, that a band is replaced a somewhat iconic vocalist. I mean, Judas Priest is probably the first band that comes to mind for most of us. So but I mean, I don't know what's going on with these guys. They get back together and they'll play a show or two, but from everything that I see, they don't really like each other that much. So I don't really know what's going on. But the other guys in the band, I mean, seem like they want to move forward and on a more consistent basis. And I'm sure, I mean, I know that the drummer for sure wants to make more music. I don't know what, I don't know. I think Darren is the guitarist, and I think
Okay, so
I
so
should, I should,
so
I should.
Brian just messaged said he's happy to join. So I'm gonna try to get him the link in another way here.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
we can fill some time for a few more minutes. We should have Brian
Yeah.
in here.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that band. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I kind of think that for the sake of their fan base, they should figure something out because they're kind of leaving. And I kind of count myself as a fan of System of a
Mhm.
Down, but I mean, probably not as big a fan as a lot of people, of course. So I mean, they're leaving their hardcore fan base kind of twisting in the wind. It's not really 100% fair. I mean, if Surge is like lukewarm about it, it's like, dude, either shit or get off the pot. I mean, if you want to
Right.
stay, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I mean, you're not doing the guys in the band any favors either. So I don't know. It's kind of strange. Uh,
So I just sent it to him in the group because I mean the group's private anyway. So
yeah, that's fine.
I think
Yeah,
was
because
it the
I
page?
saw
Was that
where
the page? Oh wait a minute, was that the page or the group?
I saw where he
No,
just
that's the group.
joined. I saw where he just joined. I saw where he just joined anyway. So
Oh, did he? Okay.
yeah, Brian and
Uh,
and Brian and Jonesy both just joined the group.
oh, okay.
So
Okay, cool.
so yeah. All right, so let me read this real quick. This is
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
go ahead.
Over at the PRP, Wisdom in Chains have announced that they have parted ways with their vocalist Mad Joe Black, replacing him with Frankie Pupalo from X Death Before Dishonor, etc. A statement shared by the group today on social media reads as follows. Quote, we have a new singer. We have parted with Mad Joe after many years and many albums that we are really proud of. We'd like to welcome as our new frontman, Frankie Pupalo. If you are not familiar with Frankie, check out the This Is Hardcore Fest podcast. His first show with his new band will be This Is Hardcore. We have known Frankie forever, some of us having been in side projects with him. He has done guest vocals with us on a song called My Promise in the past. Richie was in a side band called Trust and Few with him, and Mad Joe did guest vocals with Frankie's acoustic stuff. You will love him, and we are getting to work ASAP, writing and recording. All our respect to Mad Joe, who we consider one of the best lyricists in the game. He has a project called Cool Tone Brown that everyone should check out. Anyway, check out Frankie on the This Is Hardcore podcast and check out an interview Richie did with No Echo at noecho.net. More music soon, end quote. So
All right.
another
Well,
band churning their lineup around. So
looks like our guest has joined us now. So let's bring him in here.
Hey, guys.
Dr. Monkey Boy PhD, also known as Brian Amaraso.
Hey.
How you doing? How you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I don't know what happened. The calendar, it looked like I didn't have it on there. I found it on a different month.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I sent the email out, but I mean it's not uncommon for the bands to just say okay and just not respond.
No.
Because they're like, I got it, so we'll just show up. So
that's never the way we do things. So usually when we don't show up, it's because somebody screwed up.
Yeah.
So,
or Dana didn't pay you, right?
Or Dana.
Yeah. Give Dana a hard time. Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
We actually found you guys through Dana. Dana was they gave you guys some high praises, so we had to check you guys out too. And,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, we've known Dana for a long time, and we've done shows with Dana and stuff like that over the years, and he's a good friend. He really is.
Yeah,
Dana's good people. Man.
Yeah, he is. We've been working together with Dana for the last couple years, going on I think 3 years. Our actual first in public live stream was at one of his shows out at the Malice Haunted Attraction a couple years ago. And so we went out there, and he invited us to come out and do our first, remote live stream. So we did that, and then we went to Manchester last year for his birthday concert. We live streamed from there.
Ah.
So, and I'm actually going to be back at the church with him tomorrow. I'm going to be I'll be out there for that. So, but yeah, we've been working with Dana for a couple years now, collaborating, and it's worked out pretty well. So,
good deal. Yeah, he's definitely. He's always very enthusiastic about trying to keep things going, and I really actually respect the fact that he just loves to help out the metal community, which is
absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen that comment, Chris, but I think that was a shot at you. But
the long hair, that's all me. That's all me. Definitely. Yeah, well, I got like a week's worth of growth going on.
When he said it that way, I was just like, wait a minute. I said, oh, I got to look at it and say, well, none of us have long hair, so I guess
I got a little. Jonesy got in touch with me. I'm like, well, I guess I better put some clothes on and get on a podcast right now. Living the rock star lifestyle of being in bed by 11 o'clock at night on a Friday.
Yeah, right.
Well, shit, it's good work if you can get it. So
yeah, sure.
No doubt.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So this way y'all were blaming me. Oh, yeah. We weren't blaming you. It was just
bullshit. No, we weren't blaming you.
Not at all.
Just giving you a hard time.
That's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing is like people may not know about the D.O.O.D. The D.O.O.D is actually an acronym.
Yes.
Distinguished Order of Disobedience.
Correct.
I like that.
Which is pretty cool because I mean, as a fan that's grew up to people like M.O.D. and S.O.D. Stormtroopers,
DRI,
DRI,
Oh yeah.
And the thing of it is, like, when I joined the band, it was already named.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I was like, I'm not sure about the dude thing because it kind of makes it sound almost like country western or just something else. And then they're like, well, it's the Distinguished Order of Disobedience. And I'm like, that is awesome. And then shortly afterwards, I realized nobody can spell that to find it anywhere. Nobody's going to sit there and type out the Distinguished Order of Disobedience into a web browser and find us or not many people are anyway. So the acronym really, really helps. And it's, we get a lot of the Big Lebowski.
I figured
a lot of that, and it doesn't help that our guitar player Ray looks a lot like Jeff Bridges in that
movie. the dude abides.
That's right.
We had one guy came to a show one time, and he was like, "I will give you guys $500 if the next show I bring an Oriental rug to it and you pee on it." And I was like, "Well." Okay. Cash first, though. I want to see cash. We're musicians. We don't care.
Yeah. You get that. You get the cat. You see the rug. You get the cash up front, and then
that's right.
It's all everything's negotiable. Dana said you actually came to his rescue last year. You have any idea what he's talking about?
Oh yeah, he was. I had just moved from Sarasota to Ocala, Florida, and he got stuck with his truck. He was, he drives a truck, and
the
truck broke down, and it just so happened it was in Ocala, and so he called me up. He's like, "Help!" So I came down, made sure I got him to where he needed to go to get it up and running again. So
that's cool.
That's great. Yeah. So that's what we talk about with the relationships we build within this metal community that people don't understand, man. It's like, I've had, right now I got room in my house, and if a band, one of you guys happen to be like, hey man, we don't have money for a hotel, I'm like, man, crash here till tomorrow, like,
yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's in the metal community, it's as far as I can see, is much more of a tightly knit community than a lot of the other genres of music. You don't get that kind of, it's pretty much all welcoming. Doesn't matter what you're into, doesn't matter your whole thing, as long as you're as long as you're willing to be cool, everybody else will always be cool with you, and everybody will always be. Yeah, and that I enjoy the hell out of that, because it's nice to see that that's still around.
Yeah, nowadays especially. I mean, I think for the most part, it's always been that way. I mean, I've never been in a band on the road going from city to city, so I don't really have any firsthand experience. But going to shows like I have, you get together with, like you say, it could be anywhere from 20 to 25 people to 20,000 people, depending on the lineup in the venue. I mean, you're getting together with all these people you don't know, but you're all there, one common cause. You bump into somebody like, oh, my bad, dude, and nobody gets pissy about it. No one gets pissy about it. The old thing about, someone gets knocked down in the pit, you pick them up. So everyone looking out for each other. People picking up people in wheelchairs and letting them experience crowd surfing and shit like that. So I mean,
I don't think I've ever crowd surfed, but
I haven't. I've not, because I've had back problems for the past.
Me too, but I think if I get a wheelchair, I might try it.
Probably be safer that way. They may.
I haven't done it because I'm 270 pounds. So
nobody wants to pick me up either, bro. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. But no, you're right though. I mean, even traveling as much as we do, we could be anywhere, and a lot of times, I mean, I always make sure we know where we're staying and what we're doing. But that took a while to get on. But almost every show, there's at least 2 or 3 people like, hey, do you guys got someplace to stay tonight? Do you need something from us? You know what I mean? And it's really, really super cool. Personally, I think as a band ourselves, we're super friendly to fans and to anybody who's going to come to our shows. We're really happy. Like, you showed up, yay, but but at the same time, we're super friendly with everybody, and they're always super friendly back. Every once in a while you run into a butthead, but for the most part,
right, yeah.
I think if you put enough people into the mix, somebody's going to turn out to be an asshole.
Yeah, that's just kind of a law of averages kind of thing. Like you say, eventually it's going to happen. But but generally speaking, yeah, everyone always ends up being really cool, and everyone's there for the same reason, whether it's the performers or the the spectators. Everyone's there for trying to get away from the everyday bullshit, for 3-4 hours, just blow off steam.
Oh yeah, and then that's why we're all in it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, even whatever side you're on, whether you're up on the stage or you're down on the floor or in the pit, doesn't really matter. We're all here to just let go, which it's important. I think it's important for your mental health.
Absolutely, or your mental health, like Quiet Riot told us. So yeah. So
Dana said Krista was watching as well. So hello, Krista.
Hey, Krista.
Hi, Krista.
You know he ain't too far without the boss, keeping him on a leash. So
right.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Nor should he. Nor should he.
Right.
That is true. That is true. So
we kind of live mirror lives because my wife's the same way. So
yeah. but Jason, your leash is on for a totally different reason. So
well, yeah.
The safe word is banana. So
that's fair enough. It's fair enough.
To each their own.
You're like, who put this pineapple on my door? What the So Brian,
If you know, you know.
So Brian, you are the singer, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I saw. I was trying to like look up some stuff, and I was like, man, I'm pretty sure that's right, but I can't remember. But I can almost tell by the voice though, because because when you hear the singing, you're like, yep, that's
it's definitely me.
Yeah. Which is great because like my wife has a love for the rasp and voices and metal and stuff. So she's like a big like Shaman's Harvest fan and Blacktop Mojo. So she likes those. She likes bands like that with those distinct raspy voice. She loves the raspy voices. So when she heard that, she goes, "Who is this?" I said, "Oh, that's the dude. That's who we're talking to. This weekend." She goes, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's the smoking or whatnot, but it just keeps getting raspier.
Yeah. It's almost like that Friends episode where Phoebe got a code, she's like, she got better. She was trying to stay sick.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but honestly, I don't know. I didn't always have a raspy voice. I have a very smooth, pretty singing voice as well that I never used.
That you never used?
I never used anymore. But I did when I was, when I was younger. I'm not going to date myself back in 1864 when I
1864 during the Civil War.
Yeah. I led the marches with my angelic voice. So
that's right. It was. But no, when I joined the Dude, I had been doing more like hard rock kind of stuff, like Fuel or nothing. Nothing as quite as heavy, or the use of screams and all that sort of stuff. So I actually had to go dig back into my training days and figure out how to do that correctly without losing my voice ever. And eventually I did. But before that, this was almost never there. This was
interesting.
I was pretty smooth. It was.
There you go.
He was Barry White and girls back in that day.
There it is. Yeah.
I don't know, but it might have been more like Mickey Mouse. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, you guys kind of had a ballady type song on the first EP. I mean, it wasn't slow.
We've had a couple. I think this is going to be our 5th album. And I know we had like Calm Before the Storm, which was on the Beautiful Ride EP. Mm-hmm. That was more of a slower type of thing. And then we had
it did ramp up a little bit, but yeah.
It does, but yeah. And then we had a song called Tapophobia on our Buttercup album, which is the most metal name for an album ever. Can't argue that. And this one, this newest one we got coming out in September, called Dissonance, we just put out a single called 2,000 Miles, and that's probably the closest to like it's not a ballad in any way, shape.
I love that fucking song though. It's great, dude.
It was one of those songs that literally I was sitting here with my guitar player in this room, and he's like, "Hey, I came up with this," and he played it, and I just immediately kind of got the melody for it and everything else, and we wrote that. In a short period of time, just and sang it. I sang it once. I'm like, that thing's stuck in my head. No, so I'm like, we're gonna do it no matter what. Because I mean, if I can't stop singing, it's like
right.
Usually, like I'll write a song, I'm like, it's a good song. I like it. Well, yeah, of course you like it. You wrote it. You know what I mean? But this is one of those songs that just sticks in your head, like so I think it's good. I think everybody's gonna really like it if they just listen to it immediately.
Yes. All right. Now you brought up that the album coming up in September is your 5th album. We have a question about the 4th one.
4th one, Firefly?
No. Maybe you can clear up some confusion because we were getting ready for the show. Obviously, listening to everything we could on Spotify. Over at the Encyclopedia Metallum, there is a listing for an album that supposedly came out in January called Playtime in the Apocalypse.
It did not come out in January. That came out in 2014.
Okay.
2014. And honestly, before you can still find that album on Bandcamp right now, I think.
Okay. Because
it's not really widely being widely out there because honestly, I pulled it down. We're gonna probably remix it and give it a little bit of a better shot at things. But it's a great album. Actually, it's got songs on it. It has I don't know if you've been through our YouTube channel or anything, but like the songs like House of the Dead was on that, and I Am Monster, and there was just some really good songs on there. We had a song about the Westboro Baptist Church called Jesus Bleeding on there.
Oh yeah, those assholes. Yeah,
those assholes. And it, so I mean, but it was a really great album.
Okay, well, that definitely clears some things up because it's even listed in. They even have it listed in chronological order as a full length that came out in 2024. So when I saw it, we did not put that out in 2024. That was 2014. I guess that must have been somewhere along the line when they were doing the research and they contacted someone. There was a typo. There had to be a typo because Okay, maybe I'll work on getting that changed for you guys because I've done a couple of revisions on here before. I'll try to get that done.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll try to get that done.
January 2014.
January 2014. Okay. All right. Well, cool. I'll try to see if I can get that fixed because I was confused as hell because I was like, did you guys? Because I see because there was nothing on Spotify, so I was like, I saw it on there. And I saw it I didn't see it on Spotify. So I sent Jason messages. Did you know that there's another LP that they had come out? And he was like, no. I was like, yeah, supposedly earlier this year. He's like, I had no idea.
Yeah, no.
I told him, I said, last I seen anything on their socials, they just finished up mixing an album. I said,
right, yeah.
We just finished mixing this album, Dissonance. We actually put out the first single from this album in January, or the second single. I'm sorry, We had one single come out last year called "Chaos on the Fly."
Yep.
That's on this album. It's a different version on the album, though. The single version and the album version are two different.
Okay.
All right.
And then we put out "Subterfuge" in late January, early February, and then we put out the Pentecostal.
Yep.
And we just put out last month. 2,000 miles. And then on August 2nd, we'll be putting out the last single before the album comes out, which will be a song called Final Girl.
Nice.
And honestly, it's a kick-ass. I love that song. And then, but we've also got a new video for 2,000 miles coming out on Tuesday, the 23rd.
Cool.
This month.
Oh, that'll definitely work.
So the other 4 songs that you have now are going to be on the album.
Yes, everything will be on the album. But we've been releasing songs as we were going along and recording, just to kind of make sure we can get people's interests started into it and see how things are going. And it turns out people seem to like it. So it's working out pretty well.
So the 5th single is coming out. How many tracks on the new album altogether?
13.
13. Okay.
13. 2 of them are kind of interlude-ish or intro type tracks, but it's 13 tracks.
That seems to. I noticed that seems to kind of be like a little motif for you guys.
Wasn't like that was Firefly, which I think had 8 or 10. I can't remember, but it wasn't 13.
It had 11.
Oh, it had 11.
It had 11 tracks, but I mean, you've got track 10, which is burnt / an interlude. I think that was like 30 some odd seconds long. So that one was in there too. So.
I really tend to I look at music, and I'm a huge fan of like movies and horror movies, especially, but but just movies in general. So it, I try to, I try to make sure, and we all try to make sure it kind of, sets a scene for what's going on a lot of times, and it just it reminds me of the old days. You used to get a lot of that too, back in the. And this is definitely this kind of has this album especially has kind of a throwback to some of the styles of like the 80s thrash and that kind of stuff. You'll hear some of that in there, and then other things that sound like a little Queensryche Dio-esque, you know what I mean? Just strange, but just everything we love just wound up in this album.
Yeah. So what was where did the soundbite come from for the very first track on Firefly, on Post-Apocalyptic Firefly Baby? Where did that soundbite come from?
Oh, I made that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, I do all those ourselves. I don't feel like clearing any.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't feel like clearing anything, and plus, I mean, if I have the wherewithal to go ahead and create stuff for myself, I might as well do it.
Yeah. I'll be the first to say, honestly, I'm very critical of interludes and stuff. Chris will tell you this, but like I like it. I don't hate them. It's just like sometimes I'll hear something from some band, and I'm just like, what the fuck did that have to do with? You know what I mean?
Well, there definitely is. There definitely needs to be a structure and a purpose.
If there's something, like if I told him to, like if there's something a minute and a half or longer, it's considered an instrumental to me. I don't.
And I get that too. We have a song on this new album coming out called "Down the Rabbit Hole," which is an instrumental, but it does serve as like an intro to the entire album.
Yeah, see, that's fine. That's
fine. And it's I think it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah,
but
see, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
If I ever brought an intro or an interlude in to the band and said, "Hey, listen, I got this," and it's it's 1 minute and 50 seconds, they'd be like, "You're gonna cut that, right?" Because they're kids let me get away with that. Yeah. The only one that started out that way was a song called "The Bottom," which is on Buttercup, and it's the very first song on the thing, and it turned out to be like a full length song. So I was like, "There's no way these guys are going to go for this at all." And I played it for them, and they were like, "We love it." And then we went in the studio, and I had everybody get drunk and do the backing vocals, and everybody. it just worked out perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's not like I don't hate all of them. It's just like you said, you're making interludes to go with your.
There's a purpose. So, there's a purpose.
I think if it doesn't have a flow, I think is my biggest thing. Is
right.
Yeah, no, it's got to hold up the contextual theme of the album itself.
Yeah,
or don't have it. You know what I mean? Or if it's not pertaining to the song, next to it or before it, or it just doesn't belong there.
It's almost to me like you're hitting, like some of these bands are, like one I heard a while back. I was like, oh, this is badass. And then I didn't realize, well, fuck, that was just an intro. It was only like, 45-second intro, but and then it went into like I don't know. It was almost like the comparison I can make is it was like the solos for one from Metallica, and then it went into "Still Loving You" by Scorpion. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, shit! All right,
hey. It like dropped off the cliff. Like I was just like, wait, that went way off. That went way off the reservoir.
and that's the thing, though. That's why you'll always, if I do something, it's always going to sound way different, and it can't overshadow the music. Right. Like it just can't. It can't.
Right.
You can't have like the most badass interlude thing and then go into, something from Mary Poppins. It's just not going to work.
Well, I look, and I'm going to bring up wrestling analogies. I know, Chris, but but I compare a lot of stuff because it's entertainment. We're all, it's both entertainment. But like when in wrestling, we was always like you wanted to be first or last. That was the matches you wanted to be. So when I put an album on. So when I put
Bobby said, so.
Yeah. So when I put an album on, and I hear that first track, I feel like that sets the tone for what I'm about to listen to. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And it's been scientifically proven that when you could screw up anything in the middle,
Exactly.
Remember it. You know, no matter what you do, whether it be the whole album or just the song, if you screw up in the middle, nobody's going to remember. As long as you started strong and you end strong.
That's right.
And that's what's important.
Yeah, there is a lot to be said for track listing and structure.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot to be said for it. There really is.
Yeah, it was kind of fun for us because we've been working on these songs real hard and just rehearsing them, and we just got back from Kentucky. But while we were up in Kentucky, we had 2 shows up there, and we're like, you know what? Let's just do the whole new album that hasn't come out yet, you know, at these shows, and see what the response is. You know what I mean? See if people like it, and also we can kind of get a feel for the order that we wanted to put the album in.
Dress rehearsal, yeah.
So it was kind of and really it worked out very, very well, and it was a lot of fun to do. Although it's a longer album than a lot of the other ones, and it was very, very hot in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I
was about to say I was just in Florida last weekend. It wasn't any cooler down there.
No, it's not cold here, but you expect it. You know, I couldn't even find a KFC in Kentucky. I couldn't. Why?
That's true.
Well, we're in the Nashville area, and our grass is crunching when we walk on it right now. So
oh yeah, it's like AstroTurf at this point. Yeah, pretty much.
It seems a little hotter this year than it ever has. So I don't know. I don't know if that's me or the world, but
a little bit of both, probably.
I think the last couple of years have kind of kind of like what we're dealing with right now. I think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I may be going through menopause too, so you never know.
No, we're just in that. People can say global warming all they want, but we're just in that Earth rotation right now.
I don't know. I don't think I don't think there's anything going on that hasn't happened before.
Exactly.
It's a million years
summer.
ago.
Yeah, it's summer in the South. It's summer in the South.
Yeah,
that's right.
Not that we need to dwell on the weather, but I actually saw something on Facebook earlier where somebody posted something talking about the weather, and they said that if you think it's hot now, and this was something they showed a graphic of the entire lower 48 from 1936, and on this, I don't know if it was today's date, I don't know if it was July 12th, but it was in the last few days, but in the middle of July in 1936, up in Michigan, like where I'm originally from, it was 108.
Jesus.
In the Dakotas, it was in the 100 and teens.
Wow.
No, you're talking 80 some odd years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's probably
shit happens.
Dust Bowl and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, I mean everything. A lot. Yeah, it's cyclical. I mean, I'm not Bill Nye the Science Guy by any stretch, but I mean this shit goes in cycles and all this other stuff. So I mean, it's July in the South. It's going to be hot. So,
well, yeah, it's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind it as long as I have air conditioning.
Right.
The only difference is if you're in Florida, you got to do everything before 3 because it rains. But
for 7.5 minutes, and then it's twice as humid as it was before it rained.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for the extra humidity. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It never felt like every time I'm down there, I'm just like, it's almost like clockwork. You can almost set your clock to it. Like between 3 and 5, you're going to get a shower. I mean,
yes, you are.
Like I said, it may not last long, but you're going to get something.
It'll just piss rain.
Exactly.
And then it'll go away. Or the only other thing is you'll get that thing where it'll be raining across the street from you, and it's like sunny on your side of the street.
That happened to us last week when we were in freaking Pensacola. It was sunny where we were. It was sunny where we were, and then we could see the rain. It was like we were about to drive into some rain because we could see the rain shield. It was sunny where we were. It started raining. It was still sunny out. And then we drove into it, and by the time it got completely overcast, we drove right back out. It was sunny again.
I remember one of my first houses we lived in that we were sitting out on the porch, and we were just sitting out there. It was a nice day. We were just sitting out there, and like all of a sudden I just hear these raindrops hitting the street. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm looking outside, and I asked my wife, I said, are you seeing this? Like it's like raining right there at the edge of our yard. And it stopped right there. And I was like, that's the craziest shit.
Makes no sense. When I drive on the highway down here, you can see where it's raining.
Oh yeah,
everywhere around you, and you're just. Sometimes I get in that donut, where it's just sunny, and I'm like, thank you.
You gotta love Florida.
They say donuts are bad, right?
Yeah, I'll get them. Well, they are
Donuts
bad,
are
especially
great.
when you got a gut like myself. I'm not supposed to eat the donuts. I'm supposed to do sit-ups.
I usually do
Donuts are a lot more fun.
I usually do sit-ups while eating a donut. So.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, that works. If somebody dangles a donut in front of me, I will sit up.
That's right.
No doubt. It's
Hey,
gonna happen.
crunches are still crunches. It doesn't matter.
So question, it says on here that Rainus and Jonesy started a band. Are they a couple? Are they related? How did that come about?
They are a couple. They've been married for a while now. Like an impressive a while.
Impressive a while.
Impressive a while now. And I think they've known each other since like high school.
See, that's cool. I like that.
And it's great. And they actually, they're just awesome people. They're just really the nicest people in the world. Although Ray sometimes looks like a Sasquatch. I think we've got like 70 pictures of him doing the he stopped in that one Sasquatch.
Yeah.
But no, they're great people, and one of the as far as couples go, like they're kind of people you have goals to be that couple. They're just they're so good to each other and so good with each other, and they work so well as a team.
And I think that's good too, because obviously they know each other a while, and then obviously they have the same love for music, the music genre, of course. So that's always a plus. I think that that those kind of things kind of keep a marriage strong. I think a lot of times you hear people. I've talked to friends of mine that've been divorced, and I was like, "Hey man, why'd you get what happened?" They said, "Man, we didn't have as much in common as we thought we did." And I think I hear that more than I do anything. It's like. Used to back when I was growing up, everybody cheated on each other, but now it's kind of like, it's kind of like
I think you get past
irreconcilable differences. There you go.
I think you get to a certain point in your life where all that cheating and stuff kind of goes away for most people,
right?
Just because it's all fine and good, but what good is it ever going to do you? All you're doing is hurting somebody else, and you're just losing you're just losing good things out of your life instead of adding something good to your life. It never turns out well. Never. So
no, it does not.
And that's why I don't cheat, boys and girls.
Well, now it's like
Now you know.
Now
or the more you know.
Back when we were younger, we was like, man, check that girl out. Now it's like, is that a girl?
Yeah, I don't even. Right. I'm really happy to be married, and
exactly.
I'm really happy to be married off the market. I don't look anywhere. I don't even care anymore. I just don't. Yeah. And if I do happen to be like watching TV and there's a pretty girl on there, I'm like, all right. And I don't ask any questions because it could be a guy. It could be anything.
It could.
But if it is, it's a pretty guy. And I'm all right with that too. That's fine.
That's true. That's true.
Either way, they got no shot with me and I got no shot with them.
There you go. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So Dana just asked a question in the chat. He wants to know if you have a favorite dude song to play.
I think that changes on a probably a monthly basis. Currently, I'm really enjoying playing Final Girl, which is the next single coming out August 2nd. Because it's a little bit more of it's kind of vocal gymnastics. You know what I mean? But if I had to say, most recently though, is Chaos for the Fly is really a lot of fun to play. It's like a 7.5 minute long song, and it goes through so many different like sounds, like feelings in the feels to it. You know what I mean? That it's just fun to play. It's definitely like you. I was like, so you wrote a 7.5 minute long song, guys? You think maybe we could trim that up a little bit? And they're like, well, check it out. And then I wound up writing the lyrics and whatever else. And by the end of it, it's like there's not a minute in that song that you start getting bored.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've heard 7.5 minute long songs or 8 minute long songs, and I'm like, all right, please stop.
Yeah, wrap it up. Yeah, wrap it up.
We got the point. We got the point. And you don't have to use every phrase from the Bible or from, whatever, the Iliad or the Odyssey or whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah. Have you ever heard And They All Blew Away by Witherfall? That song's 15.5 minutes long. And hell, Dana was telling us about. I can't. He may know it right off the top of my head when I mention it, but he was telling me about. I don't know how we got on this topic one day, but we were talking about funeral doom metal, and he brought up this one band, and he'll know it as soon as I mention it. Now that I'm talking about it, but he was like, you got to listen to this one song. It's 83 minutes long. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I had to.
And you listened to it, right?
I did. Bell Witch, Mirror Reaper. Yep, there it is. I knew he knew exactly. Yeah, I listened to the whole damn thing. I'm like.
Was it good though?
No.
Oh, it was not. No. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, the funny thing is there were parts that weren't bad, but there was like a massive. And I don't even know, this thing, it may have been 45 minutes, may have been an hour, where it was basically just bells.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
And I was just like, oh Jesus. I was like,
that's not.
It's like what producer said, hey, that's what we need.
That's what we need. No producer. That's the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
Dana, Kill the Light is was one of those songs that that used to be one of my favorites. And it'll probably come around again because just like the world, the dude is cyclic.
That's right.
But yeah, no, Kill the Light is pretty damn awesome as far as that goes. And that was one of the first songs that started really like garnering attention outside of where we'd already played. You know what I mean? It was like we'd start showing up in new towns and stuff like that, and people were asking us for it. So that was cool. But between that one and but for some reason, like the old stuff off of Playtime and the Apocalypse, when like the House of the Dead and all that, I think it was the videos more that kind of got it. YouTube seems to be more of our social media, our platform that works for us, because we make all our own videos for the most part, with the exception of every once in a while we'll hire other people in to try to help out with some stuff. And but we like to do stuff that's fun, funny, or serves its purpose. Like the video for House of the Dead was 8 minutes long. The song is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It was basically filmed. I tried to film it kind of like a 1950s bad horror movie, and it came out pretty well. But people seem to like it because it got watched a whole lot, and then the song still, like, we play it tomorrow, and people are like, "Oh, I love this song." And it's like, "Oh, great!
There you go."
Didn't know you
if
this town.
if you ever need anybody, holler at me. I've also done some acting on the side too. So
fair enough.
And my dad actually lives in Ocala, so there you go.
There you go.
Wow, that's kind of a small world right there.
Yeah, right. Actually, my dad lives in Bellevue now, but he used to live in Ocala.
Right around the corner anyway.
Yeah, right. And then my uncle lives in Silver Springs, so they're all right there.
Silver Springs is actually technically in Ocala, and I'm in Silver Springs right now as we speak. So it's kind of neat.
Which I hate that they got rid of the theme park that they had there.
They had like a bunch of stuff that they just kind of had to, and I know that because I live right around the corner from where the monkeys are. Because they used to shoot the old Tarzan movies here, and
right, yeah.
When they were taking breaks from the movies, they used to just leave the monkeys on the island in the middle of the river because they thought that monkeys couldn't swim.
Oh my God.
Then eventually they stopped making the Tarzan movies here, and they just left the monkeys. and they became
wow.
feral. And then after a while, they started attacking all the tourists that were coming down in Silver Springs. They'd rent kayaks and canoes and stuff,
Right.
and they just start jumping in the canoes.
Monkeys would?
Yeah, it was crazy. The monkeys, they don't rent. That's what I like about monkeys.
They do. Yeah, they're like, fuck this, mine now. So.
Yeah. Fine.
That or they just like shitting in their hand and throwing poop at people.
Sure.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
Well, if you're ever down visiting, let me know.
Yeah, I definitely will.
So you mentioned the videos being done mostly in house. I mean, are you guys pretty much all self-contained with everything? I mean, recording and all that shit.
We go to recording studios. I actually have a degree in audio engineering, and I can do all the stuff, and I have all the equipment. Not as big as like a nice recording studio, but
sure.
Truth of the matter is, that's the one thing I do not like to do is like I'll record our demos and pre-production work, so that way we can kind of get an idea as to what we want to do with the songs. If this is all working, if we want to change this part and maybe swap these two parts around because it'll sound better. I'll record all that stuff and we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, I don't like. I feel too close to the songs to actually record and mix them myself. We did this album in at Morris Sound Studios in Tampa here, and they've done everybody from Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, all the It's really like one of those things where we walked in there and we're like, it was kind of like we were in awe of the thing, and we're working with the same engineer that worked with all of these bands that I used to listen to when I was coming up and or I was a kid or whatever. And so it was a great time, and but I also think that the home recording thing works out really well sometimes for people.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that, if you're serious about what you're doing and you're trying to put out a quality product, you can't beat having a professional who does it for a living, working with your stuff. Plus, it also gives another set of ears on your music.
Right. Something's an
objective.
An
a
objective
good example of that
opinion.
is. Hold on, my headphones are going in and out here. I seen y'all like lips moving, but I didn't hear nothing.
That's because we were fucking with you. Sorry.
That's right.
I don't know. Can I say that? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, yeah. They
were explicit, so it doesn't.
Yep. No censorship here.
But what I was saying is like we had a band on here, Ashens Rain, which they're one of the guys into IT, the other guys into web building, so they kind of got both ends of the spectrum going. So they have their own studio. They were doing all their stuff, and then now they've gotten a label picked them up, and he's just like, man, it is so different. Like he said, I've honestly never had nobody send me something back going, hey, change this guitar riff just a little bit. He's like, what? He's like, because he's like, okay, and he's like, he said, man, it's just I've never had that before, so it's kind of wild to hear somebody that does this all the time picking out just little things and like, hey, you may want to like cut that just a little bit sooner or. Like,
for real, that's a thing, and
crazy, dude.
We don't. The Firefly album, we worked with the producer Matt LaPlante, and he'd done like Seven Dust and Nonpoint, Skindred, and like a bunch of, and like it was a lot of that. It was a lot of, well, sing this, do it again, but do it good, and then do it, and then. But don't do what you were just doing because that was awful. You know what I mean? And try this and try doing it this way. And it's like, okay. And then the guitars would come up and it'd be like, well, okay. And then he'd just like take all the music and go. And then he'd come back and play it back for us, and it would sound completely different from what we wrote. And it was like, and not in a bad way. I mean, they're great at their jobs. But at the same time, like this time, we had Jim Morris, great engineer, has engineered many of the albums in your collections, I guarantee you. it was just nice to say, this is what we want to do. And he's like, well, let me see how we can get that for you the best way we can. And so, and if he'd hear something that was off, he'd be like, you sure that's what you want to do? Yeah. Well, can you maybe go back and try it again one more time, and maybe you'll like it better. And I'm like, well, I liked it the first time, but okay, yeah, that's great. And I'd go back and we do it, and it was like, oh yeah, no, absolutely correct. But it's not the same as having somebody come in and produce your album and tell you, well, you need to be playing a C instead of a B beer, or there's no B sharp, but you know what I'm saying. And it's a way different experience. I loved our Firefly album. I thought that was great. For me, it was very different sounding for us. But this album, it feels more like us to me. When it's all said and done, the songs sound great, and they sound very close to what we sound like live.
Oh, see, I like that.
See, and that's the big thing for me, because I want to be able to recreate everything we do live. I'm not opposed to doing backing tracks, as long as you're not doing guitar parts as backing tracks or anything like that. I'll put keyboards in there because we don't have a keyboard player.
That makes sense.
And then play them behind it. That's fine, and I don't think that's hurting anybody. But as long as we can get it as close to the album as we can when we play live, I makes me happy. Without forsaking the beauty of the live performance, where you have to have things that are every show is going to be a little different,
right?
And it's always going to sound a little bit different. If you try to overdo that and make it sound the exact same every single night, A, you're going to get bored as a musician, and B, people are going to be, why would they come and see it the next night?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
Same thing.
I love.
Go ahead.
I love the fact that you brought up one of my favorite bands in Nonpoint. That's
I knew as soon as he said it, I was like, hey.
Yeah, I don't. Because we don't hear that often. It's like a lot of people on here is like, oh no, I don't know. Of course, we talk to a lot of bands overseas as well, but
yeah. Nonpoint's a great act, man.
I love Nonpoint. Like I've seen them probably a dozen times, and I don't think I've ever seen the same set list ever. So
yeah, they're absolutely monstrous with what they're able to do, and it's a little sad that they're not a little better known than they are.
Right.
But I think in certain circles they're very well known. So,
I mean, there's not many bands that I know of that are not like I said, they're not like a Slipknot or anything, but they have such a fucking following, dude. Like I'm on the Facebook group. They have 361 Facebook group, which is all the fans of Nonpoint. And dude, there's like probably tens of thousands of people in that thing.
Well, and they have loyal followers, and that's what
exactly.
It is.
Yeah, and I've actually went to other states and seen them. So it's like,
if you're going to do it and somebody else is, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It takes enough of you willing to go out of state to go see them that love for the music.
And
it takes.
And I'll tell you something. I've told this on here before, but like I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? They probably don't know me from Adam as far as my name, but if they see me, they know exactly. Like they know the face. They don't know the name, I'm sure, but they know the face. It's like,
you're certainly not a nobody, sir. I want you to clear that up right now. You are not a nobody. But I understand that whole thing too.
Yeah. I'm just a face in the crowd to them. You know what I mean? It's like they don't know me by
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what they remember, though. You know what I mean?
You're probably right.
I see. Hey.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah. If I didn't have the door closed to the office, my cat
you'd have it. Yeah.
It'd probably
right
be
in the middle,
right across the damn table right here.
Yeah, so. No, we've got 3 cats, and their favorite place to be is on top of my computer keyboard. Absolutely.
Another thing I love about Nonpoint too is like if you follow those guys, like just like have such a blast while they're out on doing things. Like they do some
Well,
crazy shit.
and that's the thing to be a metal musician and not be Slipknot or Five Finger Death Punch or any of them, you have to love what you're doing or don't do it, you know, because you're not making Slipknot money. You're not making the money that you know, I mean, half these guys are going home and working day jobs when they're not on time.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, you'll find them at the Circle K, you know, slinging hot dogs. And it's like, that kind of sucks. It really, when you think about it, it's just a shame that I think music is one of those things in the world that everybody uses daily. Everybody uses daily, yet everybody treats it as if it's not worth anything. Like, and it's not, that's, you know, it's sad that you can't, you know, the musicians have a hard time staying musicians.
Yeah.
That's why you get all these bands that are like, oh, that band, whatever happened to that band? Well, they broke up. They broke up because, you know,
they had bills to pay.
They had bills to pay. And it's awful. Not
it is.
So, but anyway, I guess my initial point was that, you know, you gotta love to do it, and Nonpoint definitely is one of those bands that love to do it. P.O.D. was another band that like I never thought much of, you know. Then we played with them at it was RV Fest or something, and I was like, oh well, I'm here. I'm gonna go check out P.O.D. I've never seen them, and they were amazing. And actually sounded better than back in their heyday when they were first out doing stuff. And I was like, wow. And you could just see how much they enjoyed being there. And Nonpoint's the same way. And it's great to see.
I saw P.O.D. on the Lincoln Park Meteora tour. So
yeah, I mean, they've been around.
They have been around a while. Yes, they've
been around for a very long time.
And another band too that I don't know if you know, Il Nino. Or they're kind of the same way as I think they're an underrated band too, man. Like
sure, I remember back when they first came out and had. I don't remember the songs off the top of my head, but like they had a bunch of good songs on that first album, and I never really heard much about them until recently. In the past couple of years, they started coming back up again.
I think they have a new vocalist and everything now. So, but
that's. I think,
but it still hasn't changed their sound any. I mean, you know, because you got the same guitarists and drummers and stuff. You're really not changing much, but
well, I know that they got they lost their guitar player for a little while,
right?
Mark Rizzo.
Guitar
player. We played with Mark a few times, and really super nice guy. Somewhere out there on Facebook land or social media land, there's a picture of there's a video of him and Indy, our guitar player, like literally having a little guitar battle on stage, and that was a lot of fun. But so he left, and then he was playing with Sepultura for a while and whatever else. So, but I think he wound up going. And he was also with Soulfly.
That's right.
Well, actually, I think he was with Soulfly, left Soulfly, went to Il Nino, is what happened. I don't know. I can't keep track. It's like a soap opera.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like you know, it's almost like you could go on like the $25,000 pyramid and get asked a question. You know, how many bands has Mike Portnoy been in?
And then you have to be like, what?
You got to name them all. You got to name them all.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you have to be like, what? You mean this week? I mean,
right. I woke up yesterday. Mike Portnoy quit my band. I'm like, I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
A busy man, Mike Portnoy.
Busy man.
He's a busy man. So let me ask you this. Since we now know that Playtime and the Apocalypse actually came out in 14 and not 24. So the band was formed in 2004. So I mean, that's kind of like a 10-year gap to start the career in the band.
They went through a lot of lineup changes.
Okay.
In that first 10 years. They did put out another album before Playtime in the Apocalypse called When Push Comes to Fight.
Okay.
And the music was a little different, slightly different, and like they went through different singers, different guitar players, and everything else, and then up until I joined, which was basically right before Playtime in the Apocalypse came out. So I started writing that with them, with some of the songs that they had not finished writing with the other iteration of the band, and we've gone through several guitar players over that 10 years till we found Indy. We're not letting him go. He's stuck forever.
Actually, Dana talked about him right here. So.
I was say, is he chained up in your basement right now?
If I had a basement, he would be chained up in it. But yeah, he's not allowed to go anywhere. It's phenomenal on guitar. He's one of those. He's one of those guys who just. Like he spent the first part of his entire life just sitting on the edge of his bed, learning everything he could about the guitar, in and out, in and out, in and out. And you can't find this guy if he's not eating. He's got a guitar in his hand, and he's always writing or trying to figure out, a new way to play a Mixolydian scale and make it sound like. It's crazy. He's just really good. And then we finally found we had a drummer, Robbie, for a while, who had to leave for health reasons a while back, and we went for almost 2 years with like fill-in drummers, just people we knew who learned all our music, and like, hey, we got a show. Can you fill in for this week? And can you fill in for this next week? And but then Robbie actually got healthier again, came back to the band, and then he left to do other things. And we got Rudy, and we've had Rudy for actually maybe a couple years now, and he's the fit for it. I mean, it's just you go through iterations where you have all these people, but everybody feels correct now. This feels like the family, and I'm very happy with the current lineup, and I until they kick me out, I think I think we're good.
Yeah, I think you guys are all safe for a little while. So
yeah, I would say.
And Dana even said, he said, man, I think he said, I think 2,000 Miles is probably one of their better songs I've ever heard. And I thought, and when I checked it out, I said, man, this is a damn good song. Of course, then I hadn't heard any of the older stuff like he had until last couple of weeks. I've been dipping into a little bit here and there.
Right.
I think it's a great song. So there you go.
Yeah. It's really got. I love the fact that you could just about just close your eyes and feel the lyric. You know what I'm saying? You could feel the lyrics of that song. I mean, if you've ever, and I think it goes to like if you've ever been in a sports entertainment or NFL, NBA, whatever. I mean, you're on the road doing games and playing, whatever you do, bands. I mean. Military, even. I mean, they could probably relate to that too, being away from home so long. And I got 2,000.
I think the words. And that's the one thing. Like, when we have PR people and stuff like that asking us to do press and stuff like that, they're always asking, "Hey, explain exactly what this song is about." And I don't want to. I feel like I will give you a general idea what a song is about, but it's really. If you want to know what it's about, listen to it, and then you tell me what it's about, because that's what's important. And 2,000 Miles is one of those songs that I think essentially everybody can relate to it in one way or another, and it does become very personal. It can become very personal for them. What it means for me might not be the same for what it means to you, but it doesn't mean it's any worse or better. You know what I mean? It's right. Interpretation is that's what music's all about,
right?
I don't believe battle of the bands and all that sort of stuff, because you can't quantify music. somebody out there likes Yoko Ono. Somebody does. I don't know why.
Somebody does, yeah.
Yeah.
But we
That's
talked about
true.
that a lot. Is how that's what makes music so great. Not just metal. I mean, music in general. Because
Sure. Yeah.
you could take a song and one fan hears something different than another fan, and that's just and I think that's what makes you a fan is like that song speaks to me. So I like these guys because it speaks to me. To me, I'm more of a guitar riff or a drum beat or something draws me into something, and I'm like, this shit's badass. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck what he's singing about. You know what I mean?
But there's songs like that out there for me as well. I mean, there's stuff like, let's face it, AC/DC. If it weren't for the fact that every song has the same driving ass great fucking, like, you'd have to be dead not to like the beat going on to every song by AC/DC.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what they're singing about.
I mean, it's just like Back in Black when he hits that first. You're just like, I don't give a fuck what he's saying. You're already fucking moving. You know what I mean? Like,
you're done. You're done.
Or hell, even the first, even the first gong of the bell to Hell's Bells.
Yeah, Hell's Bell. Yeah.
And and you have the first gong, and then you got to figure out, is it Hell's Bells
or For Whom the Bell Tolls?
Yeah. But come the second one,
Yeah, you do.
It's like it's fine.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
it's funny that
by the time that guitar lead comes in, you definitely know.
Oh yeah, you do. It's funny that you brought up AC/DC because I saw something not too long ago, and it's probably an old quote. I'm sure it is, but I saw it not too long ago. It was from Angus Young, and Angus Young was like, I can't stand the fact that people say that we've made 11 albums that sound exactly the same. And there's like a little ... He says, when we've actually made 12 albums that sound exactly the same.
It's almost like that. It's almost like that guy that did the Disturbed spoof, and he was
the greatest hit. The greatest hit of Disturbed.
Yeah. And David Draymond said the favorite line was, he said the line that got me was when he said, "How did a band do so much with so little?"
Never before has one band done so much with so little.
Yeah. And David Draymond loved it though. So
he loved it.
I mean, he
praised that shit.
Yeah, he did. He thought it was so good. But you were talking a little bit ago about how, the albums sound like you and felt like you. Where exactly, like, and you don't have to like go into like all of the details, but like where does some of the influences from the band come from? Because I mean, I'm sitting here listening to all your guys' stuff, and I went all the way back to the EP in 2017. I didn't start there. I kind of went with the newest stuff and worked my way back instead of starting from the beginning and coming up. But I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm listening to everything, and I'm like, I'm just listening, and I'm like, all right, that sounded like Creator. That sounded like Hell Yeah. That sounded like Pantera. That sounded like Avatar. That sounded like Static X with some of the electronic stuff you guys throw in there. It's like, all right, that sounded like Machine Head. And I mean, I'm like loving every bit of it, but I mean, it's just like, I'm just picking out like, all right.
I think the best way to answer this, because it's that we have, especially, all of us have a love for heavy metal and rock and roll in general. You know what I mean? So like it basically, there's that, but we don't all have the same exact musical tastes. So whereas like Ray is a huge Merciful Fate, King Diamond guy, like I like King Diamond. Do I want to listen to King Diamond 24 hours a day, 7 days? Oh no, I don't. You know what I mean? But I like King Diamond. I like Merciful Fate. I like that, but it's huge on that. So sometimes it brings a little of that to the table, or Dio, or something. He's an Ozzy fan and Sabbath, and all these things that I love. But maybe I'm more of the Pantera guy, or I'm more the Lamb of God, or who the hell knows, David Bowie or Combi Christ or Nine Inch Nails. You know what I mean? I like a lot of the electronica, the industrial metal stuff, and or like Typo Negative and all that sort of stuff too. And that's where I'm from. Jonesy likes more the like the non-point, the Seven Dusts and that kind of portion of metal. And Indy is a big he's a big like a Monomarth and Viking rock, Viking metal stuff.
I love a Monomarth.
And well, who doesn't? You know what I mean? That's the thing. But that's like more his strengths. And so once you get them all together in one room and we're writing a song, it kind of, you'll notice like it's gonna, very rarely do we all get on the same page as far as like, oh, let's all do a song that sounds like this. No, it's gonna sound like, all right, well, I'm going to sing it this way because this is the way I'm hearing it, but it's not the way that they're hearing it. And it doesn't matter, but it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
And that's why it is. And that's why we've never said anything more than we're a heavy metal band. We're not a grindcore band. We're not a death metal band. Because I don't want to ever have anybody try to take that away from me or pigeonhole us into that point where we're stuck doing one type of music. I mean, I don't want to necessarily go and do Britney Spears stuff tomorrow, but I love doing metal. I love doing metal, and if I feel like doing an industrial metal song tomorrow, I'm going to do that industrial metal song. If I want to recreate the feeling of the Scorpions Still Loving You on the next day, you know what I mean? Then, hey, it's still metal. I still have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that kind of works, and I think it kind of shows in the music.
The thing that I hate about, I don't know if I've ever said this on here before, but you just like sparked something within me just now. But I think that with people, breaking genre of metals up, I think you would have more people, hearing them now going, well, I don't like industrial metal or I don't like death metal, because we say that a lot. We don't kind of lean toward death metal. There are some death metal bands that I like, yes, but I don't lean that way. You know what I mean? So to me, I think it's better if you didn't do that and just call it heavy metal, because 90% of people aren't going to say, well, I don't like heavy metal because of that one band.
But and what if there's a great death metal band out there that would appeal to you, but you're not going to ever listen to it because it's death metal.
Right.
I don't like that.
And that's not fair, because every death metal band are not the same. I mean,
I like to give everything,
a chance.
I like to give everything a chance. And I mean, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. And the funny thing is it just might be, like it may not be a problem with a certain album. It's like, listening to an album with like, 8, 10, 12 tracks, like, 3 or 4 of those tracks weren't that great, but 6 or 7 of them were all right. So, I mean, you can break it down even further, but that's the reason why I ask, the question is because the sound you guys have is kind of all over the map. And that's what I liked about it. Cause Encyclopedia Metallum has you guys listed as a groove metal / metalcore band, and I had the groove metal thing in my head basically from the word jump. So, but I get what you're saying. But I mean, like I say, I'm sitting here picking out thrash bands. I'm sitting here picking out I'm picking out everything.
And the thing of it is, some people, I think we're one of the lucky ones because we can get away with it and do it to where, like, it works for us, in other words. But like I've known other bands that try to be all over the map and it doesn't work. Right. We don't try to be all over the map. I think that's the thing. We just try to play music that we want to hear, and like if we write a song and I wouldn't listen to it myself at home, then how can I expect you guys to want to listen to it?
Right.
It's a pretty good litmus test, that's for sure.
I think too, if the difference with that is you can't be all over the place on an album and be messy with it, I think. Because you can do it and be neat, and it can have a similarity from song to song. But if you just like all over the place and messy, it's just like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, it's like, what exactly am I listening about? But not saying it's bad. It's just like like I said, you play that first song, you're getting a feel for what kind of setting you're setting and then it goes off the rail, and you're like, wait, what the fuck, you know?
But that also goes back to that cinematic feel that I always have, especially with albums. It's that you want to create a feeling for an album, you know what I mean? And you don't want to just, I mean, maybe sometimes you do, I guess, but like you want it to have phases in the album. You definitely don't want it to be like the album's just this all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, I've heard albums like that before, and they were boring after the third song. I was like, okay, I heard this last, you know what I mean? They just get boring. So you gotta, I mean, it goes back to that, and having, being able to craft songs wherever you'd like to craft your songs helps a lot, and not being kind of pinned down to one subgenre of somebody made it up anyway.
Right.
Genre. It's not. It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist.
I like you talk about the cinematic thing, and like if you want to like talk about somebody, I think Rob Zombie is a good example, because is Rob Zombie a great vocalist? No. But is he a distinctive sounding vocalist? Oh, well, fuck
sure.
Absolutely.
But like I said, he's not great. He uses cinematography to along with what he does, and it works. Because he's, like I said, he's a horror guy too. So it's kind of a.
And honestly, I don't know if anybody else would look at our stuff with that same cinematic thing, or if everybody else would.
Yeah.
But
no, it made sense when you said that, because
we're putting it together.
Some of the stuff I heard.
I can see where things should be going, and where it just, to me, it makes perfect sense to equate it to a movie, or sometimes a series of movies, but they don't let me put those albums out.
He just leaves that to Ice Nine Kills. Man.
Yeah, that's nice. That's their deal.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They found a niche. And it works. It works for them. They do.
That's what I'm saying.
Great. Yeah, they do a great job at that. They absolutely do a great job at that.
No doubt.
They do a fantastic job.
Those guys, like, what they're doing is like, you're never gonna run out of material, because they're making horror movies every year. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, it's beautiful for them.
Yeah.
You brought up a little bit of something that I was listening, and I'm going to probably get this wrong, but there was a couple of songs when I was listening to you guys, because I'll be honest, when I listened to you guys, I pulled up the dude on Spotify and I just hit play. I just let it play all of your stuff, and I don't know what order it came in or what. So it just went down the line. So there was a couple of songs in there, and I'm like, dude, that is a 90s cover of some kind, but I couldn't play.
Oh, we did a few covers. We did.
Yeah, you did a King Diamond cover.
We did No Presents for Christmas. We did Plowed by Spun.
Plowed. That's right.
Yeah.
We also did Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the other one. Yeah.
That
was the two I heard.
I'm glad you brought that, because I was going to ask about that too.
I was like, wait, this is pretty wild.
It's kind of weird, because I have people now who literally will write me and be like, fuck you, I can't hear Plowed anymore, but because if it's not your version of it,
you don't want to hear it.
Well, I can actually echo that sentiment, because besides No Presents for Christmas, I honestly didn't like the original version of the other two songs. So so I agree with whoever said that, because I would rather hear your guys' versions of those other two songs too, because you guys
and then funny enough, on Playtime in the Apocalypse, we did a version of Zombie by the Cranberries before everybody else did it.
I was wondering that as soon as I saw it. I was wondering that
before everybody else did it, and we literally, that album came out. We had toured it for a while, and we were just working on the next thing was going to be, either the EP or if it was going to be a full length thing. We didn't know where we were going with it, and she died, and they all put out 17 other bands put out a cover of Zombie, and now it's like I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, and the only one that we're gonna hear is from Bad Wolves because they actually were gonna have her do a guest vocal.
She's on there somewhere. But honestly, we didn't do it anywhere like that. I mean, Bad Wolves is nice and polished and everything else. This was more of the tear your soul out screaming choruses, you know what I mean? Like just screaming. And I loved the take on the song.
Yeah.
But
it didn't so to me it was almost like she was singing for a heavy metal band. I mean, it wasn't nothing like
she was amazing.
Yeah, but I'm saying their version really wasn't anything special. No. Honestly, it was just a harder version, and I don't think they kind of did anything to be like, oh well, that's make it their own cover.
No, they didn't really. I mean, they did the standard upgrades.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it, and a lot of people loved it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm. I did when it first came out, but it got old real fast.
Well, they play it every time I've seen them. So
yeah, it got old real fast.
But covers that freaking Daughtry and Lizzie Hale doing the Journey song was amazing.
It was good. That was good.
I didn't care for it.
Really? I thought it was
talking about Separate Ways?
Yeah.
I didn't care for it.
There were parts in it I did not care for, but like in general, I thought that was really well done. I didn't. Yeah, because I find him too well polished as well.
Because for me, Journey is probably like the quintessential band of like what my parents listened to. So it's probably Journey is probably and not the only band, but it's probably the foundation of me being introduced to rock and roll and then building upon that. And Separate Ways is my favorite Journey song. So when I have a song that I like that much and someone does a cover of it, you better knock it out of the park. And for me, they didn't knock it out of the park. And I was just like, ah.
I thought they did, but I don't feel as strongly as you do about the song to begin with.
Yeah. So
I'm that way with Led Zeppelin. Like you can't half-ass a Led Zeppelin song to me. You know what I mean? I just grew up with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up listening to it, and just at this point in time, I don't want you to screw up an Elvis song either. That's what my mom listened to. You know what I mean? And that's what I grew up. It got force-fed to me until I loved it. And then if you screw that up, you're gonna piss me off. So I mean, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I thought that was a great cover, especially because a lot of people do covers that just don't need to be done.
Yeah.
Oh no, I agree with you there. So I agree with you there. In this moment, it's done a lot of covers that I wish they would.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I don't think I've heard a cover that I liked of theirs. So
the only one that I like of theirs is when they did "Call Me" by Bono.
Oh, that's right.
That's the only one that I like.
Yeah, I'd rather hear Miley Cyrus do it. Right? And that's it's just one of those things.
Well, and we're talking about covers. I think to me, I'm going to go do a circle back here. So, Non-Point's one of those bands that I don't think they've done a bad cover, dude.
No,
they do such an amazing job with whatever they decide to cover. It's just
their cover of "In the Air Tonight's" the best cover.
Yeah. I mean, I loved when the Doves Cry when they did that. I was like, man, they did so good with that.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, our criteria for doing covers.
That's what I was going to ask about. Yeah.
Our criteria is we try to find a song that you absolutely know this song, but you absolutely forgot about this song. You know what I mean? And that's what we try to go for, because I don't want to go for that popular song that everybody knows and still is listening to, because that band obviously did the best job they could. You know what I mean? And if people are still listening to it all the time, there's a reason. You know what I mean? And not for me to screw with. So I'd rather take a song that was obviously a good song and didn't get, maybe I could do it some justice, or at least take a new spin on it. And that's kind of way.
I love how this show organically goes into these things.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to like put something. I'm gonna let Chris talk first, but I'm gonna put something up in just a second. So,
all right, I just I want to suggest, even if you guys do it as a goof, because it's a song that's literally, I think it may be like 2.5 minutes long at the most, and is the only song by this band I know. You couldn't pay me to tell you a song by this band, and it's kind of heavy, but Song 2 by Blur.
Blur. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I would love to do that, and maybe. Hold on.
Maybe like Fat Lip or something too from Sum 41. That'd be pretty cool. Because I think I only know 2 Sum 41 songs. So,
what's the name of that Sum 41 song where at the end of the song, like I guess I don't even know the name of the song, but and it may have just been in the music video, but they play the song ends, and it literally goes into like a thrash metal kind of interlude at the very, very end. I don't know what the name of the song is. All I know is it's Sum 41. That's all I know. I really don't know that band that well.
I gotta tell you, I've not been a huge Sum 41 fan. Not saying I don't like them. I just never really got into them enough to where
Same.
I mean, Fat Lip was pretty much the only one I knew.
Right.
Let me look it up because it's gonna bother me, and it's gonna bother me just because I fucking have it in my head and now I can't.
Or you guys could do like a cover of Scotty Doesn't Know. You know?
That would be awesome. I have a feeling Lustro would sue me.
God almighty.
We can't take their only song away from it.
Well, you can't do like a one-hit wonder and do something.
I know what it is now because I recognize the thumbnail for the video. It's their song "In Too Deep."
Oh, okay, yeah.
And at the very and at the very end, hang on. I don't really know if we are or aren't allowed to play this shit or not. I don't really know.
I'm going to say.
What do you mean? If it's on YouTube, we can play it. So I mean,
yeah, that sometimes is true. Sometimes it's not.
Well, we have we actually, if you wanted to, we could have did it from the radio station and they could have said nothing. So
yeah, and the thing of it is, I know that like I don't know where because you're coming from Facebook, right?
We're through Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. We're live on about 8 different platforms right now. So,
all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I know Facebook gets particular, but not as bad.
Yeah, Facebook don't bother us anymore, man. We used to play Spirit of Drifts right into the light. That was our intro for like 2 years. Just that guitar stuff in the beginning is amazing, and like we used that for like 2 years. They kept giving us strikes, and Sony said, "Leave these fucking guys alone." Like
we have gotten parts of our some live streams that we've done taken. They'll cut the audio out or whatever else, or they'll take the whole thing down for our own music.
Yeah, I've heard that before too.
On our own music, and it's like
we own it, dude.
I remember when I wrote it.
Right.
Does that count?
Yeah, you're like, I give myself permission. I give myself permission. Yeah.
You need to see it in my handwriting or something? Like, wait a minute.
I don't know.
But you were talking about this, and then with the covers, and then Dana brought something up that I was going to ask you about anyway. So he said here, "Thank you for doing Edge of Thorns for me on my birthday. That was fantastic."
Of course. Yeah, we
Krista did. Sorry.
Yeah. Krista actually was not feeling well at the time, and we were playing in Nashville, a show that Dana had put together, and we did Edge of Thorns by Sabotage for her birthday, and we live streamed it to her while she was sitting in the hospital.
That video's on YouTube. I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of fun doing that sort of stuff.
And let me tell you, like, Sabotage is a hard band to cover, so
not easy. And that's actually the second Sabotage song. I don't even remember which one. Dana will remember, but I do not remember which the first one was. But we did a Metal and Tats show down here in Florida, and he had asked if we would learn a Sabotage song of Krista's and his choosing, and so we did that back then. I don't remember even which song it was, but so it's the second time we learned a Sabotage song, which
I know, like, was it Burning Witches did that Hall of the Mountain King? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I was actually like really surprised when I heard that.
Really cool. I mean, that is really cool.
Yeah,
Well, Dana said he don't remember either.
He doesn't remember either.
It was a very like deep cut Sabotage song.
Ah, gotcha.
Like when Ray came to me and said, "Well, Dana wants us to try to do this song," and I'm like, "What song?" But he's like, "It's Sabotage." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, what is it?" And he told me, I'm like, "I don't have any idea what that song is. I've never heard it before." But that was great. And then apparently somebody went and shared the live video that they took of us doing that song that I can't remember what it is anymore, and shared it with the singer from Sabotage.
Oh,
And
wow.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, and then they wrote me and they're like, "Yeah, I just shared it with," and I'm like, "Oh God, no." I'm practically reading lyrics off my palm, while I don't do that to me.
Oh, wow. That's
But
that's
I hope
like
it was
talking about putting somebody on the spot. Like,
No
wow.
shit, yeah.
I hope at least it was not a bad performance for him, but I don't know. So yeah, it as far as stuff goes, we used to do just at shows every once in a while. We'd do like Caught in a Mosh,
Okay.
which was a lot of fun to do, and then we went up and Mark Rizzo did this thing when he was, and still does every once in a while, and he goes out and plays shows on his own with just backing tracks. And then when he's in town, he'll like ask us, "Hey, will you be my backup band for, the night?" And he'll do, so we got up there and did like Ace of Spades from Motorhead and Seek and Destroy by Metallica and a bunch of other things with Mark Rizzo playing lead guitar, and him and Indy would switch off and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
It's funny you bring that up because actually there was one of your guys' song I was listening to and I got a Motorhead vibe from. I was just like, man, that's got a little Motorhead vibe.
Oh, that might be Cement, and that might be by design because I'm a huge Motorhead fan. So if it didn't creep out somewhere,
something's wrong. Yeah. And then there was another one too that I was like, man, that sounds a lot like Mark or Guetta from Death Angel. Man, it was pretty wild. So
there's a lot of it's influences.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's funny because we were talking about that earlier.
I don't want to sound like anybody.
Yeah, Chris heard those things, and I heard those totally different. So it's what I'm saying. It's like everybody hears something different.
Yeah,
and I wasn't trying to like intimate that, like
no.
Yeah, like the moments like when I heard certain things, like I got that like through the entire length of a song or thing. It's like,
no,
just little bits and pieces, like, oh, this has a this and this has a that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, wasn't trying to like I say,
no, not at all. I didn't.
Yeah, so I mean,
I didn't take it that way. I just want to make sure if anybody's watching or listening that they haven't heard us at all. They know. It's like it's not about that. It's about it. We show our influences on our sleeve.
Sure.
We certainly do, but we don't. Obviously, it doesn't sound like any one of them.
Right. That's basically what I was trying to say is like when I'm listening to this, is like there is like something for me, but I mean there is something for every. That's basically what I was trying to say. There is something that's basically going to pull almost anybody in, and that's what I like about it, because it isn't just one thing. It goes but at the same time, it doesn't go like Jason was saying. It doesn't go all over the place. It's not a drag strip, but it's also not, the devil's backbone.
Right.
So so it's got some curves, but it's still going to get you there. And
it's kind of weird because we don't. I mean, it's not exactly by design either. We don't think about it. It's just every time a new song starts, so we're writing a new song. I don't know how it's going to end up.
Sure. And
Yeah.
and that's and the thing is that's another one of those great things, because you were talking about the guy who asked you to be like, what's this song about? And you're like, listen to it and figure it out. That's just me. That's just what I heard.
Yeah.
So that's another great thing about it. Things can resonate with you lyrically, and things can resonate with you musically. Because even if I know exactly what the song is about, even if I know that, I may have a completely different connection than, like, say, Jason.
Yeah.
Like, there might be something that Jason went through that I've never been through that his mind goes to that mine doesn't, and vice versa. And the same thing with the I heard this and I heard that. So that's another great thing about the music. You're writing it just, okay, these are the notes we wrote. This is how we're going to play it. This is how I'm going to sing it. Go. Take it for what we're take it for what we're offering. And that's
at the end of the day,
absolutely love that.
I appreciate that, because it's one of those things that I don't think we'd know how to do it any different. I mean, I just don't think we would. You could ask me, hey, write a Tom Petty song for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or a Tom Petty sounding song. I could do that for you, but it would lack some authenticity.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, everything we do is 100% authentic. If we don't like it, we usually just stop. We throw out more than we use sometimes.
It's funny you bring that up, because I was just going to talk about that. I remember, Chris may remember the band, but one of the bands we've interviewed in the last, this year, maybe earlier this year. But we were talking about that. They asked us what our favorite song was, and we was like, "Well, what was your favorite song?" He said, "Well, my favorite song didn't make the album." I was like, "What?"
Oh shit! Who? What? God, I remember the.
Was it Lightworker? Maybe.
Fuck, it may have been. God, I remember the conversation. I can't remember the. Oh wait.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Seemed like it was them or Hero in the Horror one.
No, it was. I think it was Hero in the Horror, because I remember it was one of the interviews where we had more than one person on, and they absolutely put us on the spot. And I was like, oh shit, I don't even, because I was like, oh fuck, I don't even know, because it was hard. It was hard to choose, and I don't think we've had an interview ask us that. What's our favorite song? I was like, fuck, I don't even know. God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that's a strange question as an interview type, But
no, but I loved it though, because I was like,
because it was spontaneous, and
it was.
No, it's great,
and it kind of put us on the spot for once. We're like,
yeah. I mean, honestly, we have a whole catalog of stuff that we're like, well, this doesn't really fit on this album, so we'll set it aside for now because it's a great song, you know what I mean? But and we'll revisit it when we get to the album that this is going to fit on, and then we'll probably rework it and whatever else. But there's a good amount of songs, probably at least 3 albums worth of songs.
Wow,
nice.
That's one hell of a rainy day fund right there. So.
The island of misfit toys, you know what I mean? And that's okay. Some of them make me sad because they should have seen the light of day by now, but some of them don't. Some of them is like, I'd rather see it come out in the right spot.
You'll know it when you see it. Yeah.
It just makes sense.
I want to ask something, and this is kind of a controversial topic right now, and I think Chris probably knows where I'm going, but we've asked the last few bands that we've talked to about this, because it's like I said, it's going to affect those smaller bands more than it's going to affect a Metallica or somebody, of course. But what is your take on the AI stuff happening right now?
I will tell you this. I'm never going to let a computer write a song for me.
Right.
Never. I think it's bullshit. But I think there's a lot of good things that come out of AI as well. I use AI a lot for artwork stuff that I can imagine in my head, but I have no talent. I can't draw as far as drawing or painting or any of that. I'm horrible at it. Great with graphic design, but not really good with my hands to structurally put things to where I want to. So I'll use it.
Getting it from here to here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll use it for stuff like that, or make a lyric video, or maybe because it's the same thing as that's okay, but I'm never gonna do it to do my work for me.
Right.
Musician. As a musician, my work is to write songs and perform songs. So I'm never gonna let a computer do that for me. And
delicate balance.
Yeah.
Think there's people out there who easily would let that happen. You know what I mean? And eventually, the sad part is, I think there's young people who are going to come up knowing nothing more than that.
I think you might be right.
But I think that's going to hurt them in the long run. If, maybe they write a hit song or whatever with it, and then they go to try to perform it. It's going to be a different story. So,
yeah, you know what? People got time to learn.
Yeah.
People got time to learn the song. And I'm not. I say all of this, but then I can also say that for years, you had 4 people writing every pop song,
right?
That was popular on the radio, and it was same 4 people, not the same 4 people performing them. You know what I mean? It was somebody else. It was a ghostwriter. So if you're looking at AI writing your songs for you, like you would look at it as a ghostwriter writing your songs for you, well, I guess. But at the same time, I still feel like it's no matter what, it's too formulaic. No matter what, you're not going to wind up with the right thing.
Right. You're going to wind up with some stuff from like the early 80s where they said everything was wrote on a 3rd grade level. You know what I mean?
I would. However, listen to a band of robots. If the whole entire thing was created in a computer and robots performed it, I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing, because you would go in knowing that, so that would be something.
Right.
But my whole thing is, and we talked about it with Ari from the Reality Machine a couple weeks back. Anybody who does that and is disingenuous enough to pass it off, I'm like, I did this all by myself. That's what I would have an absolute fucking problem with.
Yeah.
Like, you're a fucking liar. You're a liar.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, how can you live with yourself?
Right. Well, there are people out there that don't have a conscience, So.
Can you imagine that popping up in the remaining member of Milli Vanilli going, "This is some bullshit."
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. It's. But like I said, I know if you're asking me, I'm against that.
Yeah, myself. And we're kind of on the same page. It's like, I mean, like I said, we built this thing to talk to bands that aren't as well known as some of the bigger bands. That's our whole platform. Because we're not talking to Metallica and Megadeth and all these people, because we wanted to put this out there so people would know that, hey, these guys are interesting, even though you may not have ever heard of them, and to give you guys the platform to be like, hey, this is who we are, and then share some stories that you would, be wild and out there. We've heard some of those too. So
everybody's favorite band was new ones.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite things about being able to do what I do, and go out and tour around the country and play different places, is I get to see all these different bands that I never would have gotten to see before. And yeah, some of them suck. I mean, that happens. But for the most part, most of them are really good. And it's just a shame. A lot of times I think that it's just a shame that, like, a lot of people will never hear these people. They'll never hear this band and and the brilliance that they are. And it's important that, everybody takes the time out to go out and see some shows. And I don't even care if you're going out to see, Metallica. They may have an opening act that's just coming up.
Yep.
You know, and you know, I think who was it I saw? Yeah. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I went and saw D.O.O.D, the band
Yeah.
D.O.O.D.
Oh yeah. I like it.
And,
Absolutely.
years back, they had I can't remember now. Oh, it's killing me. But it's a band I really like a lot, and that's why it's killing me that I can't remember. But you know, I'm getting old, and just like Biden, I can't debate. No, but and it'll come to me as soon as I stop trying to think about it. By the
of
way.
course, yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
Actually,
but no, it was the first time I had ever heard of this particular band. And it comes up as like in this moment in my brain, but it's not. It's like their brother band kind of thing at the time. But anyway, and I never heard of them. Wouldn't have thought twice, but I watched them and it was like they're amazing. They were really good, and it got me into them. And it just turns out that they wound up blowing up pretty big a couple years later. But you know, really cool to go out and see shows or to watch a podcast or to find out about it. And that's the beauty of the beauty of the internet, and where like back in the day we used to be so excited to go to the record store and go through the heavy metal albums and find like this, oh my God, you'd go off the album covers, you know what I mean? And like
you would. Yep. You would.
I'm going to try this band out, you know? And then if you found that band was really good, you were the guy and you'd show all your friends, and then you were the one, you were the man because you found that band, you know what I mean? And it's the same way with podcasts like yourselves, you know what I mean? People might see somebody, you know, they've never heard of before, and it, you know, wind up loving them, and then turning them on to somebody else, and then they wind up loving them, and they're the man, because you know, and that's all because of you.
Yeah,
we've gotten a lot of, like, we've had a band, you know, some bands bring a lot of their fans over to us, and then you know, and they've actually been in the chat here and there and be like,
yeah, no, absolutely,
you know, like this band's this, you know, I think a guy a while back said, oh, I'm gonna look this band up. And they looked them up, and then they said, "Damn, these guys are awesome," you know. And it's like, so a band there's a band member of somebody we interviewed last year, and
well, usually,
we were interviewing a new band, and they were just like, "Dude, I love these guys." So now the band's following the other band, and vice versa. So.
And usually, I know how a calendar works, so I put like things like this on the right date. So I would normally have, you know, told a lot of people, hey, look, you know, I'd have blasted it on social media. Hey, I'm going to be on this podcast tonight. You know, check it out, whatever. And that's usually how the way that works.
Well, don't read your email then. I'll just say that, because then you'll really be kicking yourself. So
I'm going to be. Well, actually, I was already in bed. I don't know when you sent the email. So
it was like earlier this week. So
geez, yeah, no, then I was not in bed that long.
Yeah. Actually sent you the link for the show, and then I sent you some links to share with anybody on social. So,
oh man,
and you still can after the fact.
Yeah. After the fact, I always share it.
Go away, and
because I have to edit out the Spotify version, so it'll be a little bit shorter than the actual show that everybody's seeing live. So.
Yeah, but people can go back and watch it in its entirety on YouTube and all that shit. So yeah, it's on Twitter. Good. On Twitter, yeah. So
I can't believe it. I found the email. I found the email. I remember talking to you before, you know, email, but I don't know why. But like I said, I put the damn wrong date, and I've been, to be honest with you, with between trying to get this album completed and doing all the work behind having to release it, I've been a little bit more hectic than usual.
Yeah,
that's
understandable. Yeah,
I'm gonna give myself a slight pass on that, but
no, you're fine.
We're gonna my own ass tomorrow morning, and just just because I'm not going to do it tonight.
You made it, and that's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
We appreciate that much. So.
No, I appreciate you guys a lot, man. I really do. If it weren't for people like you helping bands like us, the way the music business is now, if it weren't for you guys, it would definitely be a much harder landscape.
Yeah.
That's why ultimately we decided to go this way, because we've been trying to make a name for ourselves. Why not try to help other guys do the same thing at the same time, and being fans of heavy metal. We have discovered we're into year 4. We have discovered so many bands we never heard of until, having to do research for the show. So, we have not trying to speak for Jason, but I'm sure I'm kind of on the right track, but we have expanded our music knowledge by God knows how many times over, just having to pick out an album to listen to for our weekly review. And then, reach out to that band if they want to come on. And so, just the amount of music we've listened to in the last 4 years on top of everything we were already a fan of to begin with. It's just nuts.
That is crazy. And I'm glad I was able to make it on here tonight, guys.
And that's what we try to like put people that have gotten something new out too, so they have a chance to promote what they have, just like you're talking about the album coming up and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll get a few more ears on that in September. So
that would be great.
Well, and the single will be shared in August when it comes out.
For sure, and the video. Yep,
also. Absolutely.
So
without a doubt. So
I know we haven't gotten to this part yet, and this is something we always talk about.
Yep.
So we want to talk about the logo here. Who kind of came up with that?
I designed the logo.
Oh, nice.
But originally, I'd have to say the skull with the nautical cross and the crossbones was originally done by an artist back in like 2004.
Okay.
It's just over the years,
kind of evolved,
morphed into different things, and we have different iterations of our Skullo guy is what we call him, and he
I like it,
and he wound up as like the cover for the singles. He's wearing for Subterfuge, he's dressed up like a spy, and he winds up in different ways, and it's kind of nice to. This is kind of where we wind up almost always back to, though, is the guy who you're seeing in the center there. That's pretty much closer to where we stay.
Okay.
With it, because we also have I think I got one of them tattooed on my neck. I'm not sure which side of my neck. It's the same thing, but it's just more cartoonish, more crazy.
Right.
Sometimes we throw in other artists and see what we can do, but this guy was this iteration was me. So
okay, that's good. We hardly ever get the guy that does the art and the music on here, so it's kind of good. It's kind of good. We get it all firsthand today. So
I am a hardworking fella. I will say that. Literally, when I got it, I was telling my wife good night, you know what I mean, and rolling over to go to sleep, and then my phone went off, and it was Jonesy, and she's like, "Hey, you're supposed to be on a podcast right now? What's going on?" And I sprung out of bed, and I was like, "I don't know," and I'm on my phone, I'm trying to figure out stuff, and she sends me the link to just to watch,
right.
And I was like, okay, and I'm like, how am I not a member of this group already? And I'm like, I thought I was. I could have sworn it because I've been getting stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. And then finally I was like, okay, I wrote you. I saw that I heard you saying something about, you were going to send something back. And I found it. And I was like, great. And I was like, just about to add myself in, and I realized I have no clothes on. I'm like, I better put some damn clothes on. And here I am.
So he sprung out of bed for all of you to share his.
I honestly,
story,
I don't let people down either. It's a big.
Right.
I think it's very important. Like if you say you're going to do something, you should always do it.
I mean, we're pretty easy. I mean, we're pretty easy going, man. We, like I said, we understand things happening.
And hell, worst comes to worst, we would have rescheduled, man. It wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah, I get that. But if all it took was me putting on some clothes, like it's okay.
I guess I'll ask you guys too. Have you guys had a chance to open up for any, a bigger name band or?
Oh yeah. I think the best thing I can do. Hold on a second. We have opened up for.
He's like, quit asking me shit. I was supposed to be in bed 2 hours ago.
Yeah, that's okay.
And he's in the Eastern time zone too.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have a list of bands that I can tell you. Hold on. There we go. So this is just a little bit. I mean, since you asked the question, I might as well answer it for you. We played Welcome to Rockville, so we've technically
cool.
For Slipknot, Cypress Hill, Rob Zombie, Metallica, but that's not. I don't consider that. But we've opened up for Hemlock, Tantric, September Morning, Convalescence, Smile at the Soul, Drowning Pool, Combi Christ, Green Jelly. Let's say Head
Green. You hear Green Jelly much? That's crazy.
Head PE, DRI, Michael Graves from the Misfits, David Ellefson from Megadeth, Saliva, Orgy, Anvil, Overkill, Sick Puppies, Boba Fett, like a lot, really.
Nice.
That's very nice. That's great.
We've been doing this for a very long time, and I guess we're going to be coming up here soon. We're opening up for Trapped, I guess. Soon. I know they're not the most popular kids in the world these days, from what I hear, but
that's just because the lead singer likes to talk politics. So
I don't. I like to make jokes about politics, and if you want to talk about politics, I'm going to tell you my politics, and my politics are I don't do them.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, the government's out to screw us. It doesn't really matter who's
in charge. There you
go. But they all serve the same master, and it isn't us. And that's all I know.
I always tell people, I don't worry about the one guy. I worry about the other 500 up there with him.
And I will sing many about what I just said, and I have, and I still will. But I will never. You'll never get me to take a side on anything.
Well, there shouldn't be a side though. That's the thing. It's like we should be. It's called United States. It's not called Departed States. I mean,
and that, people have different opinions, and that's fine. And people should have different opinions, and people should be able to debate things and argue with each other about what's right and what's wrong. But at the end of the day, we don't need to kill each other over it.
Exactly.
And we don't need to, be assholes. And I mean. All of us are assholes. I'm not saying nothing, but I mean, I might have only just put a shirt on. I might be Donald Duck in it here.
But you talk about that, but I think that I don't know. In a sense, it's like I blame a lot of media because we're in a time where people get their news from a source that isn't news anymore. That's the problem.
No, there is no source of news.
You can say that when we grew up, it's like the news guy reported the news whether he liked the fucking what he was reporting on or not. He reported the fucking news. It's like it's the news. I don't have to agree with it. That's just the way what's happening.
Honestly, I get all my news from comedians now.
Well, they probably know more than
And honestly, it's probably more accurate than it is watching any. And they don't care. They're out for the laugh and the joke.
Exactly.
But and then once those comedians start getting too political in their own right, and you can tell they're starting to put their own bias.
Right.
Stop even watch the comedians, and that's fine.
I love stand-up comedy.
Well, we missed George Carlin. So,
George Carlin was the best.
He'd have an absolute field day.
Dude, there'd be so many Netflix specials right now with his ass. You'd have like a six of them out with Dave Chappelle right now. You know.
Yeah, there would be.
Man,
I don't know. I just want everybody to be happy.
It's funny that, and so it's funny you brought that up. It just triggered something that I read today. I actually read somebody posted, said, I don't listen to punk rock and rock anymore. It's too woke. I'm like, fuck, man, where the fuck have you been for 40 fucking years? Like, man, it's like punk and rock and metal has always been against the system. Like, we're not
always. Like, I remember a day when if you were a Republican and you proudly displayed you were a Republican, you would probably get your ass beat at a punk rock show or a metal show or whatever else. It was just one of those things that and now all those people who were against Ronald Reagan are now they're the same. Or if and the thing is, it doesn't really matter. I think at the end of the day, everybody should just be looking out for themselves and their neighbors, and that's all we can do, because we don't have a say so in anything. On
an individual basis, that's absolutely true.
We don't. So if we just look out for everybody else around us and try to be good people, and that's the best we can do.
Well, I mean, it's definitely blatant that we have no say so in anything anymore. So, even they used to say, well, you have a say so in November. Well, y'all can twist that shit, obviously. So,
I don't know. I like pudding. I have that say so. I choose chocolate over vanilla, but it doesn't mean I don't like vanilla.
Right, exactly.
Oh, I'd rather have butterscotch over the other two anyway.
Me too. I would take butterscotch and
banana.
I might leave tapioca out of it just because of the weird poppy bubble thing.
Right. I don't like the texture. I'm a texture guy.
I don't mind the taste. I just and that has nothing to do with anything other than I'm getting hungry, guys. I'm out.
Well, it's pushing 2 in Florida.
Yeah.
So
we'll get ready to cut you off here then, and but we want to give you a shout out and or give you a chance to do your shout outs for your socials and what's coming up as far as if you got shows coming up or anything like that.
Absolutely. Thank you. You can find us anywhere at the Dude Band. So our website is thedudeband.com, the Dude Band on Facebook, Dude Band Instagram, the Dude Band on YouTube, the youtube.com / the Dude Band. That's where you can find us, but you should put in the Dude Band. You don't have to put in the periods.
That's another thing that's great about the acronym is like you don't have to go D.P.
Well, it's another great thing. So honestly, I had to put in their name and the song to get it to pull up on Facebook for my stories. I'm just like, damn, I can't.
Sometimes it gets fickle, but for the most part, it'll find it usually. But and
actually, I'm going to share this so people can actually see. That's actually where I was at. I was on the dude. I was on the dude.com there. So
thedude.com. Thedudeband.com.
Yeah, Dude Band. Yeah, sorry.
Thedudeband.com. Let's not forget that. But yes, we do have some shows coming up. We will be, let's see, the 19th. We will be in Bradenton, Florida, which is a very, it's right next to Sarasota. We'll be at a club called Oscura. And we'll be doing that show with a band called DeSoto Tiger and friends of ours, A3M, Armageddon 3 Megiddo. And then the following night we will be in Ocala, Florida. So I don't have to go very far after a gig. And which is great at O'Malley's Alley. We will be there with Division of Corruption and Armageddon 3 Megiddo there again. And then let's see. I'm just going through my calendar real quick. Don't mind me.
And on August 12th, he's doing the Metalheads Unite podcast.
August 12th. Say I had it in September.
Okay.
Don't tell the guys. So August 2nd, we are releasing. August 2nd, we're releasing our Final Girl, which is great. But prior to that, on the 23rd of July, we're releasing the video for 2,000 Miles. We're also on August 2nd, we will be up in North Carolina at DanFest. It's one of those strange gigs that if you can find it, you'll love it. But it's also one of those gigs that it's a festival, but you have to know about it to be able to get there. I'm not even allowed to give out the address.
Wow.
So, but we've been there before. We've played it before. And there's people, and it's a great show. So try to find your in at DanFest. You can find DanFest on Facebook. So if you can find it there, maybe you can find out where it is. And if you let me tell you this year, I'll tell you. And then let's see. Then we'll be at the August 10th. We'll be at the Herd Opera House in Arcadia, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I can keep it. Then we're in Jacksonville. I don't know. We got stuff. We're booked solid through November, I think, pretty much.
Nice.
We'll be somewhere, and we're supposed to be going on tour in September. We may be coming up. We should be going up from like Pensacola up to Chicago. Like,
nice. Okay.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, if y'all definitely make a Nashville stop, we'll definitely come out and check you guys out.
Right on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll find out more about the dates. I don't have any dates. The guy hasn't gotten back to me with any itinerary yet, but as soon as we have dates to release, we'll go ahead and release them. So
nice.
So we'll keep a lookout for that then. So
I try to keep the website as up to date as possible, and just go to the tour section. It's always there.
Nice. Yeah. Well, Brian, man, we appreciate you jumping out of bed and joining us.
Thanks. You guys gave me a reason to get out of bed.
Hopefully, we can get Jonesy and Ray and all the other guys.
I'm sure that would be great.
But, we definitely love to do it again. So.
Of course.
So would I. I would definitely make sure that I've never actually had this happen before. It doesn't happen to me, but so I can't imagine it would happen twice.
Crazier things have happened on this show.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
If you want to, you can go back and check out an Enzilu. That one was pretty wild. I had the naked guy on the sauna. Yeah, it was,
no, that was Archfire.
Archfire. My bad. Yeah.
Well, as much as I love naked men in saunas,
yeah, that was pretty wild. I was like, he popped up and he was in a sauna. I'm like, oh, okay, this is how we're going to do this. All right, great. Dude, we're live. We can't cut it. So
he stayed there the whole show. The whole show.
Yeah. So, I mean, we didn't see. We just seen him from the way.
No, we're good.
Chest up, but still,
I could stand up right now and everything would still be okay.
Okay.
At home.
It's like reading the news and you turn around and see the guys like naked back here.
Right, yeah.
But no, I'll definitely make sure that we get everybody. But obviously with coming in late, it was too hard to coordinate.
Oh yeah. That's totally understandable.
But definitely next time, we'll get Jonesy on here and Jonesy and Ray more than likely. And he doesn't talk.
Honestly, it was a little bit my fault too, because I didn't even notice you put your phone number in that until earlier. I was like, oh shit, he put his phone number in. I didn't even see that. I could have texted him yesterday and been like, hey man.
I very much appreciate it, but it is not on you. This one's on me. I'll take it. But
I'm just saying I could have did my part and prevented it too. But kind of hit you up yesterday and been like, hey man, don't forget about the show tomorrow.
But it's all right.
Been
It
like what
was
show?
my bad.
But then you would have been like, what show? And then I could have.
Well, no, because if I had seen it, I would have known exactly what show because we talked.
Yeah.
Um,
You've been like the one in September. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, that's September. September. All right. Well, guys, I really should go to bed.
Yes, sir. We, like I said, we appreciate you, man, and we'll definitely share anything the dude has coming. We will
That's
definitely
right.
share on our
We
pages.
really do appreciate it, and please, let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. Okay.
Man, we appreciate it,
man.
Brian, man.
All right.
Take care, man.
All right. Have a good night, bub.
Have a good night. See
Thanks.
You.
All right.
Yeah.
Brian Amoroso from
See, I mean, we had to kind of like, tread water for 20 minutes, but we got a 2-hour interview out of it. So I mean, there you go.
Man, like I said, a lot of these people have been really easy to talk to, man.
They absolutely have, man.
It's just so cool to, and I think it's because we're not really pushy with questions. We just kind of let things happen organically, and we like to talk metal. So, we stray off into other bands, yes, but we definitely try to make sure that about the band we're talking to. So
right. Well, and like we've said before, I mean, we're getting an introduction to the band, but we're also trying to get to know them as people too. So I mean, if it kind of goes off, into a little bit, if we go off into a side street a little bit, talking about, wrestling or politics a little bit. I mean, we kind of like dipped our toe in for a second, but I mean, but still, I mean, we're trying to get to know everything about these guys. I mean, as much as they want us to know. So I mean, some of it's personal, some of it's professional, and that's fine. I mean, we do the same thing. We've offered up stuff about ourselves, wrestling, hockey, all that stuff. So,
right.
I mean, so I mean, it's good because I mean, it just kind of, hey, we're just shooting the shit. And the focus is on our fandom of your stuff. So I mean, tell us about your stuff, and then it just goes back and forth, goes up and down and around. It's circular. Block the good, harness the good. Oh, yeah. I don't remember that whole thing from Happy Gilmore, but I mean,
right.
But so it's good. It's nice and casual, and I like it. And I hope that the people we talk to they're just as cool with it because they've been just as cool to us.
How much do we want to tell for next week?
Well, I mean, let's just tell them the time to show up, and let's just do that.
Well, as far as I know, it's still gonna be the same time and same day. So
yeah, as far as
that's what they said. They said, oh, we should make it work. I said, okay.
Let's see.
They're 2 hours. They're 2 hours ahead of us. So.
They're 2 hours ahead of us. But he said that's right. We are 2 hours ahead, but that's not a problem at all. We can make it work. So
there you go. So there we go.
That's all we will. We have a guest, and they are 2 hours ahead of us. So.
And I will say this: it's our first band from Brazil. So
okay, that's it. Cut it off right there.
but that's one of the reasons why I thought that was pretty awesome, man. When I hit them up, and I get back, I said, "Oh shit, man, we're going to hit another continent here." So
we gotta give Victor the heads up about that.
Oh yeah, we do.
We should give Victor the heads up.
Yeah. They're a thrash band, so it'd be right up his alley. So
you're giving way too much.
No, I'm not. Surely there's more than one thrash band.
Well, no, I know there is, but I mean, they're getting more clues than I would have given them. But
okay,
that's fine. But hopefully that's enough to get you guys to come back. So, like I say, we got the streak started. We're gonna keep it going next week.
Again. We'll see.
The record as of now is 8 weeks in a row. So we'll see what we can do to get up to 9+. So we'll see what we can do. Week 2 starts next week with blank. So
but watch us get all the way up to I go on vacation and I'll screw it up. So
but no. That still counts.
Yeah.
That still counts because that still counts because I mean, we won't schedule something for that week and we'll let everybody know that there's no show. So that absolutely still counts. It does. Still
make
counts.
that.
No,
Anyway,
no asterisk or anything like that. None of that shit. You know, it's a legitimate streak. So
I want to say thanks to Dana and Krista
and Krista,
Amy, and for joining us in the chat there.
And thanks to Brian, who hopefully has already gotten back to sleep, because like I say, it's
it's like
late. So
1:30 there. So yeah.
Yes, it's pushing 2. So
yeah, this is still like I'm still like getting hungry. So I'm like, this is my time of night where I eat. So
yeah, right, yeah,
I'm not usually in bed until 5 or 6 in the morning. So
right, yeah.
I got to get in bed earlier tonight because I got a big day tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, you got the wrestling show tomorrow. Yeah, you got the wrestling show, and I got the show with Dana. So yeah, we got stuff going on tomorrow. I'm actually leaning towards just live streaming the whole thing, but like I say, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yeah, I mean that's fine too. So
yeah, got the computer, got the new mic.
There you go.
So
if it goes to YouTube, we can always download it and cut it. So
sure.
That's the main thing. As long as we're on YouTube, I don't care where else we go. So.
Well, then you may have to give me your StreamYard password, because you're the one who you're the head honcho now. So I don't know that I can stream to YouTube right now. I don't think I can. We'll figure it out. I mean, we'll get it put on YouTube one way or the other, whether it's the live stream or else we cut it up and put it on there. So regardless, it'll end up there for sure. So it'll get there one way or the other.
So we just want to remind you guys of the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week radio station playing right now at stream.trulyradio247.com/8008/stream. Check that out. We are still, or I am still working on the website, I guess I should say. Hit a few snags in the beginning, but now it's just time consuming because I've been on vacation, and now I got to set a day aside just to get with just me and the computer for a day, and I think I'll have it figured all set up. But I just need to find that day. So,
right.
So as soon as I find that, I do have all of the. I think I finally figured out what I wanted with as far as the t-shirts and stuff like that. So I think I've gotten that figured out. So I just got to hit order on that, and hopefully have that here in a couple of weeks, and then I can start start showing off some projects, I guess, and hopefully get all that added on to the website as well. So
nice.
Bigger things coming eventually. We're getting there. So like I said, the main thing is just time. It's like we're trying to do this stuff and work 40-hour week jobs and do this too. So it's been
that's right.
Kind of a hectic. So we definitely understand what Brian's going through with doing all the.
Oh God, yeah, and we're not trying to set up a tour and record an album and everything else. So we can only imagine. So
yeah. All right, man. You want to tell them where all they can hit us up at?
Yeah. You can email us at metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com. You can follow us on Spotify, of course. Check out all of our playlists, the weekly playlist, our theme of the week, and all of the past interviews that have been uploaded there. You can follow us on. You can check us out on Facebook. Our Facebook page is public. We do have a members only Facebook group. Doesn't come with a jacket. You'll just have to get over that. It's not 1988. Then you can also follow us on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitch, on Rumble. Am I forgetting anything? I don't know. I don't think I am. I think I got everything. I always every time I do that, I always feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think I got it all down by now. But plenty of places to find us on social media, and plenty of places to listen to metal whenever you want. Radio station, plenty of playlists on Spotify.
Yeah, we got you covered on all four corners there. So
pretty much, yeah. Anything you guys want us to add to the radio station, send us a message on the social media, send us an email. We promise, regardless of what subgenre it is, it could even be funeral doom metal if you want. Doesn't matter. If that's something you guys do, something
Just
you
not
guys,
83. Just not 83 minutes of it.
right? Yeah. So hey, we are not
gotta-
your.
I
We
gotta
are not.
I gotta cut it somewhere.
Right, yeah. We are not your mainstream radio station where if you make a request, they'll be like, nope, you want a request, we'll get it put on there. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Or talk to you like they still have CDs. I might have it laying around here somewhere.
Right, yeah.
The hell out of here, man.
Yeah.
The USB in there and shut up.
Right.
Anyway, we want to appreciate Brian Armoso just once again, lead vocalist for the Dude.
The Dude.
Appreciate him joining us. And if you really want to know, it is the Dude. The what's it for you? The Distinguished
Order of Disobedience.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So still pretty cool. I still like that stuff. So,
I do too.
a little old school feel there. So.
Absolutely.
All right, gang. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you did, come back next week and we'll have another one.
That's right.
For you. So I'm really looking forward to this one, man. I always look forward to the different parts of the world that we haven't thought to, just to see the difference in culture, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I'm a history guy, so I love hearing about how different things are.
Yeah. Well, and that and considering that we don't have the money to physically travel to all these places, it's nice to be able to at least talk to them and
exactly
know that they are where they are while we're talking to them. So we've been all over the world. There's only a few places we haven't really been yet. I mean, we've been to Europe. We're about to go to. Have we been to Canada yet? I don't think we have we? I don't remember.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we've been. We've been to Canada. We've been to Canada. That's right. Yeah, we've been to Canada. We've been to Europe. We've been to Australia. And we're about to be to South America. I mean, we haven't been to Japan yet, but I have a feeling that'll happen at some point.
I actually had a filler in for a band in Japan and never got back to me, so they were probably like, "Yeah, that's too far ahead."
might be.
Yeah, so, as we suffer was from Canada. That's right.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to just connect with other parts of the world.
And we just don't like people being blunt like Ari was. And y'all are stupid over there. He didn't say that. But,
no, he didn't.
Not in those words, but we were sitting there thinking, "Damn, we're stupid over here."
I mean, we're not stupid when it comes to certain things, So.
But it's still amazing to hear those stories from other countries, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just like you said, we've never been there, so
it's
kind of cool. It kind of gives us ideas to where to go, though. That's kind of
oh god, absolutely, yeah.
Finland, Norway, those kind of it's pretty cool. So
yep.
All right, folks. Anyway, I won't keep you on no longer. It's been a while. So again, thanks to the Dude. See you guys here next week for the next guest. We will be. If you want to know that, follow us on our socials. We'll be advertising that starting on Monday. So
absolutely.
So actually, I'll probably go ahead and set everything up Sunday when I go off work. So I'll kind of give her. I'll set it up, share it, and with the band, so everything will be set up on Monday. So
good.
So that way we got 5 days. I usually like giving a 5-day window there. So if anything changes, we got a chance to
make adjustments. Yeah.
Make adjustments. Yeah. So make audibles, like you said. So.
Right. Absolutely.
Omaha. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you. Hopefully we will see you back here next week. Until then, keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you can.
Have a great week, you guys. Thank you very much.